There's an apple tree not far away. 3 minutes. 13-minute walk. Half hour walking. There and back. Yeah. I did try and take my ego. No, he told me I have to win the truck though. I didn't get the shot from him. There's one person going to walk.
Short by a yard stop.
You don't mind. Here. I don't need it. Oh, that's pretty good.
That's Emily. First time.
I eat whatever I can. No one better take my belt. I fucking know. Because it fits me. That's the... Yep. There. And then so we play off now. We play UCD. Interref, KCD, and then we play MTU. All our shit here. MTU is what? MTU is AstroField. Yeah, it's the last one. It's the last one.
Por traerme cambios de ropa, mira esto. Es la segunda vez que lo veo. Es la primera vez que llegué sola. Pero es que...
Their team is good. I'm not sure about this.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí, es que yo no he leído. Pero
Very, yeah. And no Billy. And Brett.
Pleasant welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for UCD American Football's Flag Football Intervarsity Day 1 stream. My name is Max Wolpoff, coming to you live from a remote location in the United States. What you're watching right now is the tail end of a friendly match between UCD's women's flag team and Panthers White. There's also a Panthers Navy team. The Panthers will not be participating in today's Intervarsity Day, but UCD will. Today's games will be mixed flag football games, and that's Sam Smith converting the 2-point conversion on the pass. So let me run you through today's schedule. There's going to be a lot of games going on today that will have bearing on the InterVarsity tournament that is going to happen. Last year, you may have remembered from our live stream that was also on this channel. You can go back and take a look at it. I think it happened back in February of last year after the most recent Super Bowl. The InterVarsity was a single-day tournament, and it was group play for 3 groups, and then the bottom teams would play each other and call it a day. Top teams would move along to the next step of the tournament. This year, because of the success of intervarsities from the last 2 seasons and an expanded amount of interest from universities around Ireland, the people who organized this, American Football Ireland, decided, let's expand this to a 3-day event. So today is day 1 of those schedules. Everyone's going to take a break for the Christmas break. So today is match day 1. Match day 2 isn't going to come until the 21st of February in 2026. Hard to believe that 2026 is a month away. And then the third and final day, which will also have the finals, will be the 28th of March. As for today, there will be games going on in 2 separate fields. This is pitch A. Pitch B will be going on off of camera side, so we're not going to be able to see those games. If I get updates from them, I will let you know, but that is not a guarantee. So first game for us today is going to be the Elks against UCD. Our second game is going to be Trinity College Dublin against the Maynooth University Hurricanes. Then the Canes will play DKIT. And then our final game of the day will be MTU versus University of Limerick. So we're hoping to get a roughly 12:20 throw-off between UCD and the Elks. However, they do still have to finish this game. So for now, we'll just hang out here. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm always curious to hear the reach that we have here on UCD American Football. And as always, UCD American Football, after this play, of course, and this backwards pass that somehow works out for the Panthers. UCD American Football is proudly presented by Tap House Bar, Kitchen, and Sounds, a proud partner of UCD American Football. Host your next event at the Tap House. So we're thrilled to be able to bring you these flag football games. However, the work of the club would not be possible without donations from members like yourself. So if you're feeling generous today, our Revolut and PayPal links are both on the screen. Please consider a donation to UCD American Football Club to allow us to cover costs for these streams and for our flag football equipment, as well as for our tackle team starting up in 2026. We thank you in advance for your generosity. All right, shooting off a battery pack for the stream. Oh, man, Sean, club president, doing the best. Thank you so much. Sean, I'm always thrilled. Again, I mostly come up with this stuff on my own based on just having watched television and radio and listened to radio for most of my life. You can't watch the radio. Actually, these days you can watch the radio. A lot of radio shows simulcast as either podcasts, TV shows, or both. I know in Boston, there are a bunch of sports talk radio shows where the afternoon programming on local access cable is essentially just drive time radio. Nice interception. And that's going to keep going, and they're going to miss the flagpoles down to the 5 before eventually the end of that possession. So we're still waiting on our first game of the day. I'm not putting up a score bug here because I came into this game halfway through, and I have no idea what the score is between UCD and Panthers White. So I've got my morning cup of tea. The voice of UCD American Football is ready to go once today's InterVarsity games get started. I'm grateful for a lot of the teams that filled out biographical information for me. A lot of that was corralled by Alice Gordon. She'll be wearing number 4 for the Elks today. Alice is a 5th-year player who, at this point in her admission, she's likely never leaving university. She's the chairman of the club, and I am very grateful for her for corralling much of the information that you're going to hear today from the teams involved. So we are still waiting on precisely the start of the first actual game today. What you're watching now is supposed to be the tail end of a friendly.
No, antes, no he jugado.
The friendly matches for UCD and the Panthers started around 10 a.m. local time, and that would have required me to be up around 3 in the morning local time for myself. And I happen to like sleeping. So maybe next time with a little bit of planning and it not being Thanksgiving weekend in the United States, perhaps I could have done so. However, I decided that I liked sleeping more than I liked watching friendlies for women's flag football. Almost on the reception there. So live games that will count for InterVarsity standings will start shortly. Again, we are thrilled that you have been able to join us so far. Share the link among your friends. Let them know that you're watching flag football early on this Saturday. Sorry, everybody. What you're seeing right now is me getting the link ready to share on Instagram, which is not exactly the most exciting thing to watch in the corner of your screen, as UCD will go for one following the touchdown in the most recent play. Sam rolls out left and had Heather Shore back at the end zone. Through her hands, incomplete.
Jamie, 2-minute warning.
Right, from what I just heard, it's likely the 2-minute warning. So if you've got questions, now's a really good time to get them in. We'll have UCD versus the Elks to start today's action. Not 100% sure what happened to the video there because it just skipped over the time between the last play and this one. Shore on the rush, throw out left side. Two receivers had a chance at it. Now this is going to be a long run and a late pull down inside the 10. Sean, I actually don't think that's the correct question. I think the debate is Miami or Texas, because I think the committee has made it clear Notre Dame is the better team. And I thought this from the time Miami played them. Notre Dame was a very tough opponent. They have proceeded to – they've only lost 2 games, Miami and Texas A&M. Texas A&M losing last night does not help Miami's case, and I'm very upset at A&M for being classic Aggies. Figures, can't rely on them for anything. I think Notre Dame gets in for sure with a victory today. The main question is whether Miami can make the ACC championship game, and they need a lot of help in order to get there. They got to rely on California to beat Southern Methodist and or Virginia Tech to beat Virginia and or Wake Forest to beat Duke. Any 2 of those 3 will help Miami get to the ACC title game. It's not looking pretty for my Hurricanes. It really isn't. I think that's the wrong question, though. I think the committee has made it clear Notre Dame is a cut above. In the games that they've played, they've absolutely crushed some teams, and they've crushed a couple of common opponents that Miami will have. Notre Dame crushed Pitt, and hopefully Miami can do the same. Nice sack by Heather Shore there. Hopefully Miami can do the same today. Yeah, ACC's mental this year, although in the recent years, the Big 12 has been the mental conference, especially last year. Last year's Big 12 was bonkers. Yeah. Listen, I'll take an ACC race over the SEC's fart sniffing. We're better than everybody else because, frankly, you're not. Sorry, stop. If your fans feel that it's so important to win a game that they steal the starting quarterback's jersey out of the locker room like what happened at Mississippi yesterday, you're stupid. It doesn't mean more. You're just dumb. I'm thrilled to see the ACC is getting to airplay. I'm thrilled Miami's in the national conversation again. However, without a win today, they're screwed. And they need some help to get to the ACC title game. If they lose the ACC title game, barring they get there, I don't think Miami makes it, because at that point they'll have 3 bad losses, one to Southern Methodist and one to Louisville. And the Louisville loss at home is brutal. Because, again, Carson Beck played his 2 worst games of the season in those losses. And that tends to happen. You can't really expect to win a game you turn the ball over 5 or 6 times. That's just not how – that's not a good strategy to win games for football. So if anybody's got thoughts or questions on the NCAA FBS race for college football, I'm more than happy to expound. I watched quite a bit of the games yesterday, saw Boise State eke out a win over Utah State last night, sitting alongside with my grandparents, and nice backwards pass here. Back of the end zone, got somebody open and overshot him. That was a weak whistle, dude. You got to get your technique down. So we're finally getting set to welcome.
We good to go in 2 minutes?
All right. Apparently, they're asking if everyone's ready to go in 2 minutes. We are a few minutes behind schedule today for this first matchup. So the teams will go through a rapid handshake line. It's more like a high five line than a handshake line these days. Just an observation. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun watching the college football games in the last several months, especially not needing a VPN to access them in the United States. Quest for Charger successful. Yes. Way to go, Sean. That's my club president. So we have on the field now is number 33, Alex Humphrey, as well as number 7, I don't know who, because only a portion of the Elks roster filled out the information. I've never met any of these people in person, so I can't really tell who they are from that. First game of the day will be UCD versus the Elks. The Elks are coached by Oliver Gordon and Joshua Johnston. Oliver was the InterVarsity's quarterback last year, and he's back for revenge, but he wishes he was playing rather than coaching. And Johnston played receiver and safety last year. He calls himself a graduate of Wacky Wavy Inflatable Tube Man University, which is a shortened version of Wacky Wavy Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man University, which is its full name. I guess it's warm enough in Dublin for the officials to be wearing shorts, or at least one of them. Quite a contrast in temperature tolerance here, as our white hat referee is comfortable in shorts, and I believe that's going to be the side judge is in thermal compression pants underneath his shorts. We all tolerate the weather differently. A lot of familiar names today for UCD will be playing. We still have not done the coin toss, so we're going to get set to get underway eventually. The women on the team for UCD will likely have been warmed up as a result of playing the friendly matches against South Dublin Panthers earlier. Looks like a beautiful sunny day in Dublin 4. Light cloud cover. All right. And here come the captains. drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We see in the comments that the coin toss has already happened. There is slightly delayed from real time. So UCD will be on offense to begin today's game. They're actually going to do rock, paper, scissors for this. Okay, I'm sorry, that's dumb. So I got a funny story for everybody based on that. About a week ago, the day before the InterVarsity game for UCD against the University of Limerick, I got to do the volunteer training for the FIFA World Cup, which is going to come to North America, Canada, US, Mexico over the summer. One of the things that we did in training was a competition among our little groups, as it were. And in that competition, we had to take 5 minutes and come up with the best cheer based on the color that we had. So, of course, I was on the winning team that day, but we tied with another group. And as a result, we did a one fall to a finish, rock, paper, scissors to determine who won. And what did the cheer captains win, you ask? We won yet to be sold World Cup 26 scarves for the host city of Boston. And knowing what I know about rock, paper, scissors, most people psychologically will throw rock first. And as a result of that, I knew right away I'm throwing paper because I doubt this person I'm standing across from will go against the grain. Threw paper, I won. Tom McKenna starts at quarterback for UCD. We're underway. Let's have some fun on an end-around run for Jack O'Riordan. It is a short gain, not much on the play. O'Riordan, he's 20 years old. He's a law student at UCD. He's from Dublin. This is his first year playing flag. McKenna, Young's back to throw. O'Riordan again underneath, and it's tackled by Isaac Searle. This is his first year playing flag, and he most recently won the Glass Bowl MVP. He'll be playing quarterback today for the Elks. Tight formation, left side of the center. McKenna lost on third down. O'Riordan caught it down the sideline. Searle has to break it up. 6-point saving tackle there. As I'm falling asleep at the wheel here, it is the first half, UCD versus Elks. We are underway. I'm not sure what YouTube is going to have to say about the music blaring in the background, but I have zero power to control that from where I'm sitting. I have influence, and I can ask the people to turn the music off, but I have zero idea what's going to happen when Taylor Swift's management company comes after us. Fake toss to O'Riordan. Now it's underneath to him toward the pylon. Does he get in? No. This will be second down UCD. And, oh no, touchdown. That's 6 points on the board. UCD strikes on offense, and they will go for one from the 5. McKenna rolls right, underneath toss at the goal line, and it's across for one. Seven 0 UCD, a perfect first drive. Underneath toss on first down. It's going to be a 5-yard, maybe 6-yard gain on the completion from Searle. Thank you to all of you tuning in. UCD up by 7. First possession of the game went for a score. Searle behind the snapper. And they do the back reverse toss play. Searle's going to run. Searle's going for it down the sideline. He's going to go. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown. Now, this is more like flag football. Back and forth, up and down the field, scoring in bunches here. 2 possessions, 2 scores, and 2 plays and a touchdown for the Elks. That was Searle on a backwards toss play. They will line up to go for the tie. Searle will line up under center. Take the snap, rolling right. And that is caught for the conversion. It's a tie game. All right, 7-7. We got a tight one so far. First 2 possessions. It's a 20-minute rolling clock up to the 2-minute warning. Then it'll be stoppages for incomplete passes and plays out of bounds. Scoring plays will result in stops as well at that point, but up until then, we're rolling for 18 minutes. McKenniff at shotgun. You're going to fake the handoff over Reardon. Underneath back to the snapper, and not a whole lot of yards, but still positive gain on the catch. This is a mixed flag football tournament. They'll do the fake the end around going long back to the post route, and it's incomplete. A lot of contact there. No flag on the play. 3rd down UCD.
I know.
All receivers left side. This is 3rd down. Must get to the center line. Pass is going to go deep down the field. It's going to drop! In his hands, high and dropped it.
Alex has that. Follow that thing. That's your guy.
Oh. Had a touchdown in his hands and could not finish the process of a catch. Brutal drop. Now it's 4th down. All receivers right side. McKenniff rolling left, getting away from pressure. Deep ball, must catch, got it! And touchdown, nobody pulled the flag. Up and down the field they go. That's 2 drives, 2 scores, UCD. Looks like it's going to be a defense optional game here. Maybe first stop wins the game. Lining up to go for 1. Make this a 7-point lead. McKenniff rolling away from pressure. Got to do something with it. Underneath toss again. And that one is caught for the score. Pat Duffy on the catch for the conversion. Makes it a 7-point contest. McKenniff showing off the arm on the last couple of drives. You wonder, could UCD potentially be priming him for a trick play of some sort come the tackle football season? High snap, fielded well, underneath toss of coverage, and it's a short gain on the pass from Searle. There's a lot of players on the Elks. I don't have names for their numbers. Toss backward again from Lappin. This one's going to be yet another running play down the sideline, again avoiding the flagpole. And eventually he cuts back to the middle and has it yanked off of his hips. That was Derry Murphy, a 19-year-old from Dublin studying his 2nd year in economics and finance on the stop. So Elks tried to run the same play they had a touchdown on last time, and I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Searle steps up into the pressure, and that's the first incomplete pass of the day for him. 1 possession game. It is 2nd down after they got past the halfway line on the 2nd play. Two receivers left, now 1 to the right. Searle checks his play sheet once again. Feels the rush, coming in after him. Another catch and run for 7. Third down, and I'll call it 14. Two receivers left, one to the right. They'll do the double snap again. Searle's going to run. He can throw, but he has to get to the... He got beyond the line of scrimmage, so the forward pass play was no more. It is now going to be fourth down and goal from the 7? No, from the 8. The official on the near side is lining up 7 yards away from the ball because that's where the designated runner, who has a hand up in the air, has to line up. 2 receivers around the snapper. Now the snapper is actually the center because it's the center of the line. Searle takes the wide snap. Nearly a sack on the play, and it ends up in an incomplete pass. UCD gets the first stop of the day and has a chance to go up 2 scores. As the morning sun has decided to show up here, where I'm broadcasting from. Bunched around the center. And handoff O'Riordan. O'Riordan gets to the 10, gets around a tackler. And that results in positive yards, brings up second and halfway to go.
Alex, good job. Set the edge. Good job.
Nice job, Stone, about it. SOS.
Second down play. Snap to McKenna. He fakes. He's going to actually throw it back to O'Riordan, and I believe that was an incomplete pass. Yep, it was. No yardage gain, brings up third down. McKenna is a fourth-year running back for the UCD American football tackle team. He lined up at linebacker during the InterVarsity game. Underneath to Harvey. Harvey gets the ball, stretches for the line to gain. I believe he got it around Alex Humphrey. Our referee mishandles the bobble. There's Alice Gordon underneath in coverage. She'll be wearing number 4. Kenneth, handoff for O'Riordan, going around the edge, gets a few yards, stretches the ball, and has it yanked off his hips again. Humphrey is on his master's. He's a 5th-year flag football player. And by his own admission, he ties his mental state to the performances of 2 teams, Brighton and Hove Albion and the Green Bay Packers. So he and I are thrilled about what happened on Thursday with them defeating the Detroit Lions in decisive fashion. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. McKenna loads up, goes underneath, and it's he's not happy about that one. Incomplete pass. Thrilled to have all of you joining us. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We're just here in the first quarter of action. UCD on the drive for the 3rd time today. This is a 3rd down play. Harvey, the snapper, will send it back to McKenna. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Rolling right, underneath the pressure. Duffy, the tall target, gets it, brings it down across the line. Touchdown, UCD, 3-4-3. Now it's a 2-possession lead. And they will line up to go for 1 once again. Kenneth pointing out the pressure. He's got pressure in his face on this conversion try. Underneath toss to Duffy. He'll stretch again. That underneath toss has worked well on conversion drives. That's an extra point on the board. (21-7), and now the Elks go back to work on offense. Murphy and Egan are the near side defenders as Searle receives, takes the snap, throws it off, and that's 7 again on the completion and the tackle after a, call it 7-yard gain. Before anyone asks, no, I will not do that stupid meme because it means nothing. Searle back to receive, and it's a Lappin top play. They'll run this again on second down. They love running this play on second down here. That's the third drive in a row that they've run that exact quarterback toss play on second down, especially on the second play of the drive. I don't have a name for number 13 on the Elks, so this is going to be yet another toss play. They almost bobble the initial snap, getting to the halfway line, out of bounds, and it looks like they got the first down, so it'll be first and goal. Sorry about the two-face lighting here. The sun in the room I'm broadcasting from is coming from over there, and I kind of need it to have a lit room. So I'm going to keep it this way. The sun will eventually rise here and get away from my face. But until then, you just get this two-faced look. Makes me look like a DC villain. Lappin motion from left to right. High snap. Searle fields. Low toss, and it's in his hands and dropped. Brings up second down. That was Sean Lappin, who calls himself, and this is a quote from his bio, a mad, marauding, maniac, Middletown mastermind. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but we're going to leave that in there. Searle again, fake the handoff. Toss play back to the handoff for Lappin, and he's out of bounds after the completed pass. Third and goal. Lappin is roommates with the quarterback today, Isaac Searle, and in his bio he said, better throw me the ball. And the last couple of plays, that's been one of his favorite targets. I believe the snapper is Amy Craig because in her bio she listed herself as the center for the team. Official is holding up play here, not 100% sure why. And that's why. Elks opting to wait for the 2-minute warning. So Searle will come over to the sideline and talk with Oliver Gordon and Joshua Johnston. They say it's not a TV timeout, but you know what? We can still have TV timeouts because we're on TV, dang it. And it's a toss, completed pass on the third down play. Great time to remind everybody, Tap House is the official bar, kitchen, and sounds and proud partners of UCD American Football. Fourth and goal from the 10. Under center snap to Searle, rolling right, throwing back of the end zone. It is broken up, incomplete. 1 for 3 go the drives for the Elks, and UCD a chance to go up 3 possessions here in the first half. UCD began the game on offense, so this will be their last chance of the ball for a bit. Everybody around the center. McKenniff gets the ball. He's going to hand off to O'Riordan, and O'Riordan is going to go toward the sideline and spin out of bounds. And the clock will stop. They rule he went out of bounds before the flagpole inbounds. I'm grateful you decided to join us for 5-a-side Flag Football Intervarsity Day here in Ireland. McKenniff rolling left, deep down the field, double coverage. It's caught. Duffy, does he get the pylon? Yes. Long throw and catch, Pat Duffy. UCD back on the board. It's 27-7. Duffy We'd like to thank his grandparents who wake up at 6 in the morning local time to watch from Topeka, Kansas. 1-point conversion play. McKenna rolls left. It's caught in the end zone. That's yet another score for UCD. There is time here for the Elks following that quick drive and conversion for UCD. Both teams have 2 timeouts each half, and Elks didn't use any of theirs. UCD did not use any of theirs. So we'll see what the Elks do here, down by 3 scores now. It's Searle on the toss play. Back in the end zone, he can throw. He does. And it's incomplete. So they'll go back to the automatic starting position at the 5-yard line. How's the microphone? Can everybody hear me? I want to make sure that this is working and working properly before we keep going on the day. Craig will send it backward. And it's another toss back to Searle. Missing one flagpole, getting to the edge. Egan has the flag. Clock will stop. They rule he went out of bounds. This is 3rd down. Must get to the halfway line to reset the downs. And actually, this is going to be a penalty. They tried a hard count on UCD to get the blitzer to run early, and it results in a 5-yard false start penalty. Somebody please tell the referees that they need to start making signals. I understand they may not be used to it because everyone can see the penalty, but for the benefit of those of us watching at home, like myself, please start doing the signals. Searle looking over the top. Someone's over top of coverage at 7, and he's open. Gets around Egan. It's a pull and a touchdown saving tackle. That was Murphy again on the save. Everybody gets reset. Elks trying to double up UCD here. They will get the ball to start the second half. It is a 1st down. If I'm interpreting this correctly, the Elks called their first timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Searle gets the snap. He rolls right. He's going underneath. Got a man open, and it's a stop as he's out of bounds. Inside the 5, it's 2nd down. Time is kept on the field. We are under the 2-minute warning. Elks have 1 timeout left. Ball at the 6. 2nd down. Craig stands over the ball. Sends it back to Searle. Rolling right into the end zone. It is broken up. Not sure how much time is left, but it looks like there is still time left to run more plays. How many? I don't have access to the clock, so I don't know. Elks discussing their 3rd down play. Searle has another reverse snap to lap, and they can run. They're a little bit outside the no rushing zone. Diving for the pylon, and does he get there? No, there's a flag on the play too. So we'll wait to see the adjudication here. Flag right at the goal line. Both referee and line judge threw it. I'm watching the signal, and they're signaling toward the toward the Elks side. And they are marching it back from the spot of the foul. So I believe this will still be 3rd down. there may not be time for two plays, as they are back to their previous line of scrimmage around the 6. They are outside the no rushing zone. Searle receives, goes to his right, underneath into the pylon. Does he get there? No, out of bounds. And actually, that was fourth down, change of possession here. UCD slams the door in the end zone. Joseph, no. Sorry, I'm just getting back to the comments here. I was a bit clued in on the last play. Back to McKenniff. Can UCD make it hurt? Oh, Reardon at the sideline. UCD's got both timeouts. Hand it back to the referee and jog back to the huddle. So it looks like the clock has stopped on its own. Duffy is the lined up wide receiver on the left. Harvey sends it back to McKenniff. McKenniff rolling. Everybody's back downfield. The ball's coming out, and it's incomplete. Wanted 48, Dixon Anderson. That's Ronan. And could not complete the catch. This will be third down and halfway to go. UCD's got both timeouts. Same formation as the before. McKenniff. Hand. It's going to go to Duffy. They'll get to the halfway line. He's going to get out of bounds and save the clock. So UCD holding serve here. They've scored on each of their previous 4 drives. Can the Elks get a stop before halftime? 28-7 the score. First and goal. McKenniff fakes the toss play. Rolling. Throws it back to the snapper, Harvey, who does not corral it. Had a flag pulled anyway in coverage from Searle, and Harvey could not bring it down. I don't know what the rule is on if somebody's flag gets pulled before they catch the ball, what the story is once they catch the ball. I have no idea. All receivers bunched to the left. They're going to roll, spread out. McKenniff throwing back to Harvey. It's intercepted! Going down the sideline. McKenniff rushing back to save the score. Flag pull. It's a pick. 6. The Elks turn a disastrous half right around with a score at the end. They'll bring the offense onto the field for the conversion play. My, how the turntables, he says, referencing a show he's barely watched. Lining up to go for 1. This is a 2-possession game now. Searle receives, rolling right, underneath, and it's incomplete. And that is the end of half number 1. Second half of action coming your way next. Presented by Tap House, Bar, Kitchen, and Sounds, a proud partner of UCD American Football.
It's really intense on both sides. Just need to take the defense off defense. We need to be able to
We're thrilled to have all of you along for the ride here on UCD American Football. My name is Max Wolpoff, and you're watching Flag Football Intervarsity Day. This is the Mixed Flag Football Intervarsity Tournament. This is day 1. Two-score game as the Elks will begin the half with the ball. I will relay the schedule once again for those of you just joining us. This is the first game of the day that counts for UCD toward their next matchups in the InterVarsity tournament. They will play another game later today. UCD will play the University of Limerick on pitch B, and they will play DKIT on pitch B at the 3:50 slot. On pitch A, following this game, will be Trinity College Dublin against the Maynooth University Hurricanes. And that will follow up. The Hurricanes will play DKIT as well in the game after that. So for UCD, this is their first game of the InterVarsity season. The next round of InterVarsity games will be the 21st of February. And then the 28th of March will be the rankings round as the regular season ends on the 21st of February. So the teams that qualify for the postseason will go to the 28th of March. It'll be 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. And whoever finishes 7th will also play a classification game that day. So the top 7 make it to the March games. We're just getting started here. Who's got questions? Put them in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Always curious to see the global reach of our game and our club. Thrilled to see many of you have risen early with me today. It was a 5 a.m. wake up to make sure that I was up and ready for this game to start. This was a little bit later of a start than the teams were necessarily thinking that they would have, as the teams will now switch sides. Rugby pitch is still lined here as the football alignment has gone away for UCD after several practices. They played the InterVarsity game at the University of Limerick, so this field here at UCD did not have to get lined the same way. Second half of action, Elks back underway. Isaac Searle back over the ball. Out and over, and this one's for Sean Lappin, his roommate. Brings it down for a positive gain on the first play. Elks with a chance to make this a one-score game with a score on this drive, following the pick 6 at the end of the first half. Lappin again. They might be running a short snap play. They choose not to do that on this round. This one's over the top, and it's incomplete. Had a chance at it. This will now be third down. That was Patrick Gordon heading out on that long route. Searle takes the reverse. Fakes the handoff to Lappin. He's got a lot of room. He'll shake and bake a defender. Cut back to the middle of the field. He'll get all the way around. And a late flagpole for Egan is not going to get there. It's a touchdown, Elks. A conversion here would make this a one-score game. Elks will line up to go for 1 following the double pass play to Isaac Searle. Good elusive running for the quarterback for the Elks. Everybody around the snapper. High snap. Rush has a chance to get home. It misses. Underneath toss play. It's a conversion for 1, 8-point game. And now, after all of that, UCD's offense comes onto the field again. Last time out, pick six, went the other way, and that's what allowed the Elks to climb back into this game. Two receivers left, one to the right. McKenniff, and it's a handoff to O'Riordan. They'll take what they can as O'Riordan steps out of play. 20 minutes rolling clock for the first 18. After the 2-minute warning, it'll be 2-minute timing rules. Incompletions will stop the clock. Plays out of bounds will stop the clock. Scoring plays will stop the clock. Two receivers left, one to the right. O'Riordan across the middle again. He's going to throw it back to Harvey, the snapper. And Harvey stretches. Does he get the first down? Yes.
I will throw you out of the game.
That was a very interesting warning given by one of the officials today. The officials are the other teams as well, so that creates another interesting little smack talk. Go underneath throw to Harvey. He'll stretch on the positive gain for first down. Second and about 20, maybe 18. Two receivers left, one to the right. Patrick Duffy is the one at the bottom of your screen. They will fake the handoff to O'Riordan. McKenniff rolling back, and it's broken up. Roll knocks it down, incomplete. Third down and goal. Handoff, O'Riordan. He's going to run to the sideline and a pull inside the 10. This will be 4. Two receivers left, one to the right. Fourth down play for UCD. McKenniff fakes the rollout underneath the Duffy. Can he get to the pylon? Yes, he can. Touchdown, UCD. Sorry for the delay on the score bug. I had to check myself on what the math was for this scoreline. Two receivers right, one to the left for this one-point conversion. McKenniff rolls, approaches the line of scrimmage, looking for somebody back in the end zone, and it's caught in the back. Conversion is good. Make it a 35-20 lead. 15-point game of 2 possessions, almost 2 full possessions. That was Cormac Keogh, 20-year-old Dublin native in his 3rd year in a computer science program. He has a multi-sport background in GAA, water polo, and basketball. Double pass for Searle. He's going to throw incomplete. Wanted 7 again. It is a 15-point game. Elks now their 2nd possession of this half. They'll keep Gordon nearby. It's going to be a long toss back to Searle. Searle underneath the throw, and it is, I don't know. Considering everybody for Elks is walking back, it was incomplete. Wanted Lappin again. Two receivers left, one to the right on this 3rd down play. And they'll blow the play dead before anybody can run further for a penalty on the offense. False start is the signal. So that was just a half the distance penalty because they're still at the automatic starting position of their own 5-yard line. So they'll walk it back to the 2.5, where this 3rd down play will restart. It's third down here. Elks have and everybody moves. We'll start again. So yet another half the distance penalty. This will be from the 1 1/4 yard line. Elks are in danger here of giving up a safety with a good rush. Eduardo Perez is the one designated to rush, and he's going to go straight at the quarterback. Sidearm throw is good. He gets around the pole. It's lapping down the sideline, and the Elks get out of a jam.
Alice, you're on for Sean. Yeah, you're on for Sean.
Nearly the full length of the field for that touchdown.
You're on the weak side, like we said, right? Go towards center.
I'm doing on the strong side, should I not? Then it gets me.
You can't be on the strong side, but you need to be safe.
1 point try here to make this an 8-point game. Two receivers are on the right. Searle's going to roll that way. Toss toward the pylon. Incomplete. It stays. A 2-possession advantage for UCD. Not sure why I tried to edit the score bug when it didn't need to be edited. Chalk it up to being rusty. UCD going back on the field. As always, they are presented by Tap House Bar, Kitchen, and Sounds, a proud partner of UCD American Football. This first down play from the 5 is a toss to Harvey. Harvey will stretch, and he'll get no further than Alex Humphrey allows him. Closing in on an 8-yard gain on that play. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Second down here. McKenniff underneath to Harvey again. He'll stretch, and Patrick Gordon will pull it away. Close to the halfway line. This is third down UCD. Wonder if they'll take a shot here. Elks playing underneath coverage. The throw is a catch again by Keogh. Calls himself a loud and proud Boston sports fan, so he should be thrilled about how the Patriots are doing. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Kenneth will take on this first down. Rolling left across his body, he tosses O'Riordan. O'Riordan cuts through a couple of defenders. He swims around, and Patrick Gordon stops the play inside the 5. Second down, UCD is in the no rushing zone. No rushing plays are allowed here. Are allowed to backwards toss it, but you must run a forward pass play afterwards if you do so. McKenniff rolling left. Back to the snapper. Harvey. It's broken up. Gordon again stops the conversion. And it's third down. From the 3. Two receivers right. McKenniff is going to roll left. Back to the Duffy. Tried and true. Tested target. As it's another touchdown on the board, UCD. 41-26. UCD can make this back to a 15-point game. With a score here, they'll go for 1. Everybody is actually interesting. Keogh is going to take he lined up over center. Underneath toss to Keogh. Does he get there? Yes. Another conversion. UCD perfect so far on conversion plays, as it is 42-26. Elks go back on offense. Their defense got a single stop so far in this game, and that was on the pick 6 to end the first half that got the Elks back into the contest. Since then, UCD's defense has stiffened, and the Elks defense has leaked like a bad ship. Toss play, Sturrow, he's going to run, gets through a couple of defenders, and he'll swim through for about 10 yards on the play. second and halfway to go. The down markers for everybody new to flag football are reset at the halfway line, and that's it. There are only 2 series of downs barring defensive penalties. Searle back to throw. Looking for a receiver. It's intercepted. 46, Daniel Gallagher on the reception. Now, as a result of the interception being in the field of play, UCD is going to start the drive inside the half yard line, the halfway line. Run play for O'Riordan. He swims back around, gets through. Gordon gets through. Nobody pulled the flag. It's O'Riordan all the way. Touchdown, UCD. Make it 48-26 as UCD goes for their 7th conversion of the day. Everybody bunches around the snapper. And McKenniff will take. Rolling left, back of the end zone. It's well wide out of bounds. O'Riordan made a nice catch at that one, but it stays 48-26. Good to see you, Dan. Thanks for tuning in. That's the first missed conversion attempt of the day for UCD as they go up by 22. And the Elks go back on offense. And they will throw it short and incomplete. Wanted left. He was double covered. UCD's drives have resulted in points all day. One of those drives resulted in points for the Elks. Second down toss, back to Lappin. He gets through, gets the immediate pull. From the guy that intercepted and finished the last drive, Gallagher.
Make sure they snap it before he crosses. Down open. Give it an extra yard.
Craig sends it back to Searle. This third down play is a run, and it's a toss over, and it's a nice tackle. May have been a touchdown for number 7, who I do not have a name for yet. This is 4th down, must get to the halfway line or a defensive penalty to reset the chains. That is a force of habit. There are no chains.
Eddie, you have to blitz to whoever's got the ball first.
And Searle, it's underneath coverage. UCD is defending the first down line. And that's a nice catch, but he runs out of bounds. This will be a first down following the reception by Lappin. Play results in a first down. It's the Elks in this game. Glad you asked, Dan. Back to Searle. Searle on the toss play. He'll get to the left sideline and get positive yards this time. After this, it'll be Trinity College Dublin against Maynooth and UCD versus University of Limerick. After that, it'll be Cairns versus DKIT and Maynooth Munster Technical versus Elks. And in the main event tonight, it'll be Munster Technical versus UL and UCD versus DKIT. I believe that we will keep the camera on this pitch for the entirety of the day. So of the games that I said, the first ones will be the ones that we watch. Roll out, and it's bobbled, caught. Lappin has it, but a pull. Murphy stops the touchdown as the Elks call their first time out of the game, of the half. We are under the 2-minute warning, and it is third down. Elks down by 3 scores. There is no onside play the Elks can run to keep the ball following a score. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They do a hard count cadence. They don't get the rusher to bluff. It is a caught for a touchdown. High scoring game here between the UCD and the Elks. As it was a 3-score game prior to that. No matter what the Elks go for here, it will still be a 2-score game. So they're going to opt to go for 1. Searle will line up under center. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. He'll roll right, looking for anybody to get open. Someone's open in that pile, and it is a point conversion. 48-33, a 15-point advantage for UCD. Elks can only stop the game one more time on a timeout. It is a 20-second play clock once the ball is placed. They'll keep the ball in O'Riordan's hands. UCD is just going to play keep away, knowing that incomplete passes result in the clock stopping. UCD is going to take advantage of the rules and just run the ball. As not 100% sure why, but the ball is going to go back to the 5. Kenneth back to Harvey underneath the coverage, and it's a flag pull again from Humphrey. Rhiannon Thompson is checked into the game for the Elks. She's a second-year history student, and she's been playing flag for 9 months. Teammates liked her enough that they appointed her the treasurer of the club. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. McKenniff rolls, throws long distance. Got a man open. It's O'Riordan, but a sack is called. The rush got home from Amy Craig. At least that's who I have as 13. Might be somebody different. I'm almost certain of that it is. McKenniff has 2 receivers now on his right. Throw out is going to be incomplete. Sounds like that's Evan Wright based on who the numbers were being called for. As there are, yeah, that's what I thought. There are 2 people wearing the number 13. So hence my confusion, everybody. Appearance and all be danged. I call the names off the numbers I see on the uniforms, and it's the first failed drive for UCD to result in points. Could it be too little too late here for the Elks? They are down 2 more possessions. So got to score lightning fast here on this drive. Receivers are spread out wide. Lappin, they'll try the toss play again. Searle can run. He's going to do so. Running down the sideline, he gets through. And there is a flag pull before the first down line. Good stop for UCD. It's second down here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Can the Elks make this a 1-possession game? Searle, and this is going to be a contact foul, I believe, against Gordon for getting in the way of the rush from Perez. Perez, 17 years old. He's from Sevilla, Spain. living in Ireland for 5 years, though, residing in Galway. He's in his first year in an engineering program. And I believe they're going to call a contact foul against Patrick Gordon for getting in his way.
Yeah, contact, offense. 10-yard penalty, lost it down.
That was second time. That was second time.
Yeah, so you're going to lose it down.
No, you lose that down.
So it's third.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, it'll be third. Sorry.
Thank you.
Everybody's still learning the game here. The loss of down, you don't lose the next down. Oh, boy. That's a huge penalty for the Elks, though, as not only do they get knocked back all the way, it is third down. And again, the Elks down by 2 scores under the 2-minute timeout, running out of time here to make this more of a game. Here's Searle. Rush from Perez. They'll go underneath to Gordon, and he'll get through a couple of defenders. Nobody's pulled the flags yet. He's got both until a dive from Murphy stops the play after the first down. So that's a first down. So already a positive here for the Elks. Elks taking a little bit of time here as the officials get themselves set. They will now start the clock. All receivers left. We heard the 10-second call from the official. Searle gets the laces. Perez tried to leap for it, does not get there, and Lappin dropped the ball incomplete. The incompletion will stop the clock here. Now second down and goal. Craig back over the ball. 2 receivers to her left, 1 to her right. Here's Searle. Gets the laces, throws it toward the end zone. It's intercepted. This should be the end of the game for UCD. He's going to run back for it. And that is a big pickoff from Gallagher to end the game. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Elks.
Alan, you're going to have
Final score in the first game of the day, 48-33. UCD with the victory. So, we'll load up and go for our next game.
We've got a quick turnaround here.
Lads, quick look and I can go around here. Yeah, you
Everybody, I need to take a moment. I need to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Next game will start shortly on this field. I believe we're going to be seeing Trinity versus Maynooth. However, UCD does own the camera, so they might flip the camera to pitch B to catch UCD against the University of Limerick. I'm not 100% sure. We will see together. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. You're watching UCD American Football on YouTube.
Out on me, out on three. 1, 2, 3, out! Because I know it's winning myself. I don't keep fixing it. Oh, I've got a tight ass down. Huh? It fits up to my. Never enough tags on, yeah? Just about. Around here. Oh, geez. Oh, that's actually good. You're going to go through. I'll be going to you now, so yeah. Oh, Joking. Oh, no. Sorry. You are. No, right. Thank you. Sam, it's empty you. Okay, good. Fair play. Just keep warm.
Welcome back, everybody. Thrilled you've decided to make us part of your Saturday. My name is Max Wolpoff, and you're watching UCD American Football live on YouTube. Another lovely day in Dublin 4, as this is Field A, or Pitch A, as the parlance is used locally. And I believe the camera is going to stay on this field. So we will see the Maynooth University Hurricanes. They're the team warming up right now against Trinity College Dublin. They'll be wearing black and red. I should point out before we continue this, I have exactly one player bio for Trinity. His name is Jack Price, and he wears number 15. Thank you to Jack. And as for the rest of you, I don't know what you were doing this week, but you weren't helping me out. And I know the bio forms are voluntary, and I understand that people may be sensitive about giving personal information or telling their story. However, this is a little difficult to do when I have no information on you. This was similar to last year's InterVarsity. Trinity, again, was one of the lowest reply rates of all the teams that participated. So to Trinity College specifically, why do you hate me? The game will start soon. It was supposed to start at 1:30 local. However, because of the delays from the friendly matchups, the games here are also going to be a tad pushed back. Not a worry, not a problem. It's just reality. That's sort of how it goes. Consequences of live sports when you're trying to schedule multiple games back to back to back to back. If one game goes long, everything else gets pushed back. If anybody is familiar with the National Hockey League, when they went into a bubble, as I see somebody for Trinity at least, I don't know who that is. When the NHL went into a bubble for the 2020 playoffs to at least try to complete them, they had one game go to 7 overtimes. And as a result of that, that was the early game. So the early game kept going, and there's no such thing as a tiebreaker procedure in the playoffs in the NHL. You win the game or you don't.
I need you to do something.
So for those teams, I believe it was Columbus and Tampa, if I remember correctly, the game just kept going. The games that were scheduled after had to be pushed to a different day as a result of that.
I think I can see that. Yeah, I'm going to tilt it down. Keep going. Keep going. It looks like 3. Okay. One on the right, at least. Oh, yeah, that's good.
I guess UCD had to check something on the camera, hence the reason they tilted it up. UCD is playing University of Limerick in the other game that is scheduled for this time slot. Given the fact that UCD is staying on this side, leads me to believe UCD might actually be getting camera side treatment here. So we'll hold here. I believe this is going to be Trinity versus Maynooth, but I'm not 100% certain on that. In the white, there is Maynooth. That's white with blue numbers. They gave me a very high response rate this year, just like last year. As it looks like UCD is being called over to pitch B for their game, and the camera is going to stay here. Actually, never mind. Well, folks, this is what you get for seeing white and blue and assuming things. UCD, we're going to stay here. So it will be UCD versus University of Limerick. That's what you get for assuming things around here. Again, it's UCD's camera. So now I'm not 100% sure what field we're classifying each field as, but UCD is going to stay on camera side, and they will play the University of Limerick here. My point remains, though, about Trinity College. Why do you hate me? Thankfully, Limerick was kind enough to fill out a lot of their bio. Keelan O'Neill is their head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and likely their quarterback as well. As it looks like UCD will go first on offense to begin the day. 5-on-5 we will play. Sorry, that's breakfast coming up. Michael Harvey is going to be on the snapping duties for UCD. As there's one guy with a uniform that is not the same as everybody else's. He's wearing yellow numbers on a white jersey. Who told you that was a good idea for television? And figures I have nobody wearing 22 on the bio sheet. So thanks a bunch, everybody. Everybody else, I can see their numbers. That's Sam Ryan, number 8. Osheen O'Sullivan, number 57. I might be butchering that. Kieran Harris, number 7. And I believe that's 17, Kara Iqbal on the far side. So, UCD is going to stay on camera side. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. As it's UCD versus University of Limerick for the second time in 2 weeks. This time it's Flag Football Edition. Last time it was tackle. McKenniff on the first snap. Let's have some fun here. Harvey on the reception. He'll stretch the ball. It's a pull from Iqbal, as that is going to be a good gain for first down. McKenniff, he began supporting the New York Giants, and this is always a funny note from his bio, because they were mentioned in the movie Madagascar, when the lemurs say, "All hail the New York Giants," and he's supported the team ever since. Duffy stretches, a pull from Ryan. Close to that first down line. We'll see if they spot him there. No, it'll be third down. Ryan is a chemistry and physics teaching student. He claims he can run a 10-minute mile when he feels like it. This is an underneath run play. O'Riordan, he'll stumble out of bounds after getting the first down line. Thank you for the marking from our down judge on the near side of the field. Feel that somebody has a theatrical bone in their body. McKenniff, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. He'll roll left underneath to Harvey and runs right into Iqbal on coverage. Solid gain, 2nd and goal. McKenniff on the snap, looking for Harvey first time, and Duffy cuts across and could not haul it in. UCD went 7 for 8 on their offensive drives in the previous contest. This is third down, must get to the goal line. High snap, fielded well. McKenniff fakes the roll left, rolls right, has Duffy back to the end zone, incomplete. Now it's fourth down, barring a defensive penalty. This will be UCD's last chance at the end zone on this drive. They are roughly 14 yards away. Bunch formation left of the snapper. Harvey sends it back. McKenniff will roll left, going back of the end zone, and it's too tall for Duffy, incomplete. Score stays at 0-0 as the Vikings offense gets set to take the field. So that means UCD's defense takes on the pitch. Oscar Egan is going to be the one underneath the coverage, as it will Derry Murphy. Designated rusher is Perez. Here's the first throw from scrimmage, and it's a catch and stop at 5 yards. Well caught by Kieran Harris. O'Neal waits for the ball. Second down from the 10. Underneath, incomplete. Wanted Callum McGrath. He's in his final year of a law and economics degree. He once met Jurgen Klopp, and Jurgen Klopp then asked him if he was cold, is the fun fact about him. Former Liverpool manager, that is Jurgen Klopp. O'Neal takes the ball. Third down, looking for the halfway line. Got a man open back in the coverage, and it is caught before the halfway line. And that's going to be a catch and run for Harris down the sideline. He goes! Touchdown, Limerick. First time today, UCD is trailing as the Vikings are on the board first.
Seriously. Now you're in charge.
That will be a 1-point conversion try. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Great catch and run by the 3-time senior county champion in hurling in County Carlow. High snap to O'Neal. O'Neal stands, waits. Perez with the rush, and this one is down toward the pylon. Did he get there? Yes. The signal is yes. It's a 7-point lead, Limerick. Keelan O'Neal is now arguing with our referee on the field. I don't know this person's name, but arguing about something that happened on the rush from Perez as he went for the flag. UCD trailing by 7, goes back on offense. Same 5 as before. McKenniff rolls, finds O'Riordan underneath the coverage, and a quick pull from Ryan. Once again, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from on this second down play. Looking long for Duffy. It's broken up. Intercepted. Harris again stops the drive. As Harris proves he can play both ways. Second interception of the day. First of the game for McKenniff. I believe that's Blessed Funko running onto the field for UCD. It is to play defense on the underneath near side of the field. Viking is already up by 7. Can they make this a 2-possession game on this drive? Murphy changing the coverage. Perez on the rush. It's a catch, and it's a quick pull from Murphy to stop the play. Caught by Callum McGrath. McGrath is also a hurling player. He won the Minor B Championship in 2021 for South Tipperary. Faces now a second down here. O'Neal, the slow arcing snap, loads up and overshot his receiver, incomplete. Third down, looking for that halfway line, as that pass was going for Dmytro Koshik. Koshik was also on the University of Limerick tackle team from InterVarsities that UCD stomped into the ground for a 28-0 victory last week. Bunch formation around the snapper. They're going to fake the handoff, underneath throw. It's complete. Over to the halfway line. They'll just reset the chains as this one's really close. Yes, it's fourth down. Limerick did not stretch the ball there. So it's fourth down, not by a lot. We get tight. Three on the line to the right of the snapper. They must throw the ball. They do. Underneath to Callum McGrath, and he'll get positive yards for the first down. Eduardo Perez lost a flag on the rush.
Number 26.
Perez classifies himself as Town Hall 12 in the mobile game Clash of Clans. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's important to him, hence the reason he wrote it. Underneath to O'Neal. It's another catch and run. Koshik, can he get to the goal line? And a referee has the flag, and the hat is also going to be thrown because I guess the down judge doesn't have his yellow flag. So he didn't throw the flag on the ground, so I don't know if he's just walking around with it or whether it's actually a penalty. I guess it's actually a penalty. Second down here. Again, UCD, we're always thrilled for you to be joining us on this Saturday. This is Limerick's second drive of the day. Keelan O'Neal stands, receives the ball. Perez on the rush, looking for the pylon. It is broken up, incomplete. Brings up a third down here. Limerick's offensive unit is discussing their next trip as the defensive unit gets set to go back on the field in a few plays. Two receivers right, one to the left. It is third and goal. From the 8-yard line, O'Neal loads up, front pylon, got a man open, underneath the coverage. It's another touchdown, Vikings. Catch from McGrath, who had the drive extending play earlier. And now it's a 2-score game, Limerick. They'll go for 1 point from the 5. Two receivers left, one to the right. Rush from Perez, throws it back to the end zone, and it is brought down for the point. Making a full 14 points on the board for Limerick. They go 2 for 2 on their drives. UCD going 0 for 2. Watching from Cloggerhead, County Louth. DKIT should be coming on, I believe, in the next game. They are currently not playing. What did I think of Elks UCD? Fun game, great contest, back and forth. I don't know what else would I think of it. It was a fun game to call. McKenniff fakes the underneath over to Harvey. Harvey gets through and can't get around Ryan, who's had that center spot on lock in the defensive formation here for Limerick. I mean, Pengu vibes. What else am I supposed to say? It was a great contest. Wish it was a little closer at the end, but I can't control that. McKenna fakes the toss play. Rolling out across his body. He throws. Fortunate Iqbal did not intercept that one. Incomplete. It will just be third down. That's the second time I can recall that McKenna has thrown across his body right to left for a play in this contest. He also did so earlier against the Elks, which resulted in the Elks pick 6 at the end of the first half. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. McKenniff on this third down throw. He shakes away from the ref. Shush. Looking for Duffy, gets it, stretches for the first down line, and he gets there. First down on the catch and run from Patrick Duffy, the 21-year-old who's a third-year mechanical engineering student. Talented wide receiver, played for the tackle team as well. And it's a run for O'Riordan. He'll sneak through Iqbal's tackle, gets around, and eventually Ryan gets the flag. Second down from the 12. The playing surface for flag football has a midfield line of 25, so it's 50 yards goal line to goal line. Harvey sends it back to McKenniff. He'll send it right back to Harvey, and it's a pull at the 6. So UCD is still allowed to run the ball from the 6. They would not be allowed to do so if it was at the 5. 3rd and 6 must get the goal line, or a defensive penalty would reset the downs. Harvey to McKenniff. McKenniff shakes left, rolls right, underneath to Duffy. Duffy rolls in toward the end zone, and it is touchdown. They'll call it a touchdown. UCD is on the board. I didn't get too excited about it because it looked kind of short, and the officials didn't give an emphatic signal quickly enough. UCD will line up to go for 1. Must throw the ball forward here. McKenniff shakes left, rolls right. Duffy again, and he missed the catch. Incomplete. So it stays an 8-point game. UCD's defense comes back onto the field as we get our first look at number 1, Wonggwen Xuan, who is a 21-year-old international student from Taiwan. He's in his second year studying mechanical engineering. The flag football team calls him Vic, V-I-C for anyone specific. It's a running play, and it's out of bounds inside the 10. Unforced error there by Neil Fahey, who ran out of bounds on his own. Heather Shore, I believe that's Anna Lakey on coverage at number 38. Sorry, I'm used to Heather Shore being the only player in the 30s in the numbers on this team, but that's Lakey. Quarterback can run. He opts to try to throw, loading up to go for the long ball, and it's a catch. Call out is for Fahey on the catch. So that is a first down catch. Camera did not go over to see number 93 bring that one down. A first-year engineering student at University of Limerick. 8-point game. Can the Vikings extend it here on this their third drive? When Xuan is going to line up as the designated runner. Tight around the snapper. Fahey goes in motion. High arcing snap. O'Neal loads up. Looking left. Got him, and it's complete. And Lakey getting the pull. Does she get it? Yes. Second down from the 2. Lakey and Fonko teaming up on that stop. As Limerick is now in the no rushing zone. Two receivers right, one to the left. Once again, when Xuan on the rush, almost gets there. Pass comes and it's caught. Touchdown Vikings. $20 on the board for the Vikings, 6 on the board for UCD. As Limerick looks like they're in a lineup to go for 1. and Schwann is a designated rusher. Back to the end zone. Fonko had good coverage, and it's incomplete. 14-point advantage for the Vikings as UCD will go back to work. Thank you to all of you who are watching this first half of action between the Vikings and UCD. Handoff. O'Riordan gets the edge, and he'll shake toward the first down line. Ryan on the pull before getting to the halfway line. UCD is going to go quickly. Not sure how much time is left. They do have both of their timeouts for the half. McKenniff using tempo. Rolling left, rolls right, launches it deep, and it's out of bounds. And the official makes a nice catch. Not 100% sure if they're supposed to do that. Third down, must get to the halfway line to reset the chains here. Two on the left, one on the right. They fake the run. McKenniff's got to do something with it. He does. O'Riordan across the back of the field. He gets the middle. Iqbal on the stop at the 5. Iqbal with a touchdown saving tackle. There's 1 minute remaining. We hear the call out from the referee on the field. 2-minute warning must have come after the last score because there wasn't a clear signal. From the 5, back to Duffy. It's intercepted off his hands. It's going to be intercepted running down the sideline. 3 men are trying to chase him down. And I'm watching the referee signal. Is it a touchdown? No. Tackled at the 9. So UCD's tackle saves a touchdown on the catch and run by guy I don't have a number for. Limerick gets the ball to start the second half. Can they go up 3 scores and then potentially 4? O'Neill from the snap. When Schwann on the rush gets there, and it's heavy contact as it's in the end zone for 6. Flag on the play is likely an illegal contact foul. I believe this will stand as a touchdown. Fouls on the defense, so either way. The original signal was on the offense, and it wasn't that. As when Schwann's heavy rush brought down O'Neill. That would have worked great last week for the InterVarsity squad, but not the case in this non-contact game. Limerick declines the penalty. We'll try to go up by 21. O'Neill loads, waits, throws, and it broken up, almost intercepted by Murphy, and it stays a 20-point advantage. UCD has, I believe, both of their timeouts. We are under a minute to go in this first half of action. As the offense that was humming at full efficiency on the first game against the Elks, sputtering here. They fake the handoff. It's over to Duffy. Duffy has plenty of room. He can run, and it's just at the first down line that he has the flag pulled. They'll get the ball quickly to Harvey, who will snap it back to McKenniff. Has to be spotted by an official who is taking her time getting to the ball spot. It's just beyond that halfway line. This is first down. 20 seconds on the clock. Everybody tight around the center. Throw is going for Duffy. It's over his hands. Incomplete. Had O'Riordan at the goal line as well. As actually, that might have been intercepted. Yeah, it was. Intercepted by Limerick again. Second drive in a row that's gone for an interception. This one is out of bounds inside of the 5. So not great field position here, as out comes Eduardo Perez to take back duties as the designated runner. Murphy goes underneath on coverage, as does Lakey. O'Neill sends someone in motion, so Egan will cross over. Perez rushes O'Neill. It's an underneath toss to Ryan, and it's a pull from Lakey. The teaching in flag football is once you have your opponent's flag, lift it high, make sure everybody can see it. That first down gain gets the ball to the 10. Two receivers right, one to the left. O'Neill, wide snap, he handles it. Throw is back to the post, and he's got a man open, got a complete inside the coverage. It's Harris, as that is the final play of the half. Halftime here between UCD and the Vikings. Thank you so much to all of you who have decided to join us on UCD American Football, presented by Tap House, Bar, Kitchen, and Sounds, proud partners of UCD American Football.
Yeah, fantastic. You got to pick. No. We're to win a few games. We're already winning. It's great. Really. 42. That's a triple. Which is a triple D, right? I can read that now. I'm gonna check 2-2 and we'll drop it to 6. So I can see that. Other than that, it's like 2D. You can call that 2D. And I can watch it by then. I can watch it by then. He's still blowing it. And that's why Ocean's blitzing that way. If Ocean brings it out, he's running this way, he can't throw it. You see why he tried to throw it straight. So we can just pressure.
Thrilled to have all of you back here. Second half of action between University of Limerick and UCD will be coming your way shortly. Limerick with a 20-point lead will go on offense first in this half. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We've been live streaming for now 2 hours in a row. Thank you to everybody who has been part of today's action. Limerick will now be shifting left to right across your screens as UCD will drive right to left. UCD making a few changes on their defensive coverage. As Fonko and Egan will stay on the near side with Perez as the designated rusher. He'll head after O'Neal on the first play of the second half. And a quick flag pull after the catch by McGrath from Murphy. Murphy opting to play the tackle instead of playing the ball. Down by 20. Every drive feels like a must stop for UCD on defense and a must score on offense. Egan will walk up on coverage. They'll do the short snap. O'Neal loads up looking for Murphy again. It's broken up. McGrath could not beat Murphy on that high ball. Now it's third down. Must get to the halfway line, which I believe is set up between the goalposts that are used for rugby as well as American football. This is third down. O'Neal back to throw underneath the coverage. It's incomplete. Had a chance at Fahey. He could not engineer a third down conversion. Fourth down. And UCD a chance to get their defense off the field fast to open the second half. What does Limerick have in store for this conversion play? The lineup, one receiver left, two to the right. O'Neal rolls, throwing down the sideline, got in coverage. It's caught. Fahey on the catch and run. Fonko had a chance at it, but could not break it up. A long fourth down play results in the ball at the 9-yard line. At the doorstep are the Vikings. Can they punch it in, or can UCD turn them away? First and goal. Underneath, inside the 5. Ryan, did he get the flag pulled? Yes. Right at the 5 was the tackle from Egan. Second down now. Inside the no rushing zone, all plays must be forward passes. All receivers to the right of the sapper. O'Neal. He'll play underneath. Looking for coverage, and it is almost caught between the coverage. Incomplete third down. The sun is starting to blare right into the path of the uniforms here on the far side of the field. So I think he was going for McGrath 94. Two receivers right, one to the left. Perez on the rush. O'Neal stands. O'Neal delivers the ball, and it is caught at the pylon. Touchdown, Limerick. Limerick putting on a show here on offense. 32-6. Lining up to go for one. Make this a 27-point advantage. They'll send a receiver far to the right. O'Neal looks that direction first, goes through his progressions, and is broken up. Murphy prevents the conversion. The offense has a lot of work to do. Defense probably has more work to do. Given the rolling clock, I'd venture to say every drive from here on out must be a stop and score for UCD. As it sounds like the half or the game is ending on the previous field. They've changed quarterbacks here as well, as it's a throw to Harvey. I can't quite tell who that is. I believe that's Lakey. I can't quite read her number, as UCD has made a change at quarterback here to begin the second half. giving Limerick a different thing to look at here. Lakey throws, and she'll find a reception. Cormac Keogh on the catch and run. I believe that's McKenniff walking the sideline in a sweatshirt, calling out the plays. Lakey stands, delivers, and it's intercepted. High point on the ball for Sam Ryan. He'll break 3 of the tackle. It's another pick 6. The Vikings are back on the board. 38-6. As the comeback hopes for UCD are dashed on their first time holding the ball in this half. They still have to play the rest of the half, as O'Neill will line up for the 1-point conversion. Calling out the pass back of the end zone, and Fonko in the way breaks it up. Vikings have opened up a 32-point lead. And a flag is down late. And they are going to call Fonko on the coverage. Note for American Football Ireland's referee committee, that was late. If you're going to throw the flag that late, don't throw the flag at all. And in fact, they pick it up. So here comes UCD's offense back to work. They need another receiver, and Duffy eventually comes out. That's Egan, sorry, 23, not 11. Lakey back in at quarterback. She's going to hand it off to O'Riordan, who will get what he can. Short gain. I did not get a bio from Anna prior to the game. I only got a number and her name from Michael Harvey, who helped coordinate some of the roster and number changes. Lakey will hold, throw, finds Harvey. Short gain after the tackle from Iqbal. Lakey nicely done to avoid the pressure. Hands off, O'Riordan. O'Riordan gets around, gets away from Iqbal. He's down the sideline, and he's going to go for the score. Jack O'Riordan gets himself on the board. Positive drive for UCD. Has it at 38-12. And Sam Ryan is not happy he didn't get a call. Trying to teach the down judge a thing or two, the chemistry and physics teaching student at University of Limerick. UCD will line up to go for 1. Not 100% sure why the symbolism here is the Shadur Sanders wristwatch celebration, but oh well. Lakey again on the throw. Must throw the ball, no running plays allowed. Here's the underneath toss to, and that's a nice catch and conversion. Keogh converts the 1-point play. So a 25-point advantage following the 7-point drive for UCD. So a good positive drive here. We'll see if UCD's defense can get off the field quickly. O'Neill back to throw. And Egan on coverage, and he tries to play the ball and could not come down with it. Try to climb the back of Callum McGrath. Just a 5-yard gain. Second down, must get to the halfway line to reset the chains. Again, it's a force of habit to call them chains. It is just downs because there is no chain gang. First down line is a static line at midfield. Sam Ryan is still trying to make his case on the previous play as this play is going on. Perhaps it's because I have thin skin, but I'd flag him for unsportsmanlike conduct there. The play's over, dude. Toss play for Koshik. Ended up going for positive yards. Actually, they're going to flag the play. And they will walk it back. I believe that was a direct snap to Koshik, who then ran. As the first person to receive the ball from the snapper, you are not allowed to just run across the line of scrimmage. So no design QB runs, as it were. You must do something with the ball if you're the first person to receive it. That's a second down play. Now O'Neal handles the high snap, looking long, and it's Fonko on coverage, well broken up. Despite a size mismatch with Fahey, Fonko broke up the short throw. This is now third down. The clock is running until we get to the 2-minute warning. I believe that might be a fist up. O'Neal handles a high snap, and Perez misses, and it's a catch. Fonko able to pull, but wait a second. That's a safety. The referee has called a safety against Limerick. I'm not sure if Perez got the tackle first, or if O'Neal stepped out of bounds, perhaps. He was close to that back line. That's 2 points for UCD, and their offense goes back on the field.
I'm just a stupid American.
23 points is still the advantage for the Vikings. So this remains a very high hill to climb for UCD, but they could still get some positive momentum and keep the point differential low with some positive drives here. Stack formation left side of the snapper. Lakey fields, throws a short ball, and it's a pull from Ryan on the catch from Keogh. UCD scored on their last drive and then got 2 free points on a safety on Limerick's most recent drive. Lakey, handoff O'Riordan. He's running, and stretching out of bounds. I have yet to see a symbol for a 2-minute warning from our referee in the middle of the field, who is wearing a black hat instead of a white hat. They'll send all receivers left of the snapper. This is third down, must get to the halfway line. Lakey, toss to Harvey. Harvey shakes around Iqbal, who makes a nice tackle. Iqbal normally plays for the 2-time Claddagh League champions, the South Dublin Panthers. He's now playing at the University of Limerick this year. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. This is fourth down. Heavy rush, high ball, caught by Egan. He comes down with it, and it's a good first down catch. Flagpole came after the throw. First down, UCD. Hannah Lakey, despite not having a lot of range with her arm, has thrown some accurate passes here in the last 2 drives for UCD as they march down the field. First down and a ways to go. They'll hand it off to O'Riordan. He'll get through, and another nice stop by Iqbal. now hear the call for the 2-minute warning. As once again, UCD is not in much of a hurry. It's mathematically possible to win this game, but it's very unlikely at this stage. It's going to be a handoff and another tackle from Kara Iqbal, who's single-handedly stopping touchdowns here for Limerick. Actually, double-handedly, because she's got two hands. Thrilled to see everybody tuning in, chiming in on the commentary here. Lakey steps into her throw, throws it up for grabs. It is bobbled and intercepted as it's Kieran Harris on the grab, and that should just about do it for UCD's comeback hopes. Anna Lakey was able to lead one touchdown drive. The safety gave UCD a glimmer of hope, but that interception should be enough here, as Limerick likely is just going to try to do some high percentage plays and run out the clock. Or they could go for it all. O'Neill and Perez misses. This one's a low, I believe, catch? Yes, catch. That's Harris again. He's a senior county champion in hurling, but by his own admission, he did so in County Carlow, so he doesn't know if it really counts. Because for those unaware, County Carlow is not that good nationally in hurling. If I remember correctly, I believe they were one of two counties that did not have a single game of theirs live streamed or televised last year by the GAA, which I still think is a mistake. You should showcase all of your counties at least once. Throw is to the first down line and caught. Stopped by Keogh. In a blowout like this, it's still important for UCD to stay locked in and build good habits. You'd hate to have a team fold simply because the game is out of reach. That's a recipe for bad habit building. We are into the 2-minute warning. Vikings will push for another scoring drive. Motion from the left. It's the snap back to O'Neill, and it's a throw broken up. Oscar Egan stops the play. There are now 36 seconds remaining. As I think they called a sack. Yeah, they must have, because they're walking it back to where O'Neill threw that ball. So this is a sack. It's second down. Even if they cross the halfway line, it's still going to be third down if they get there. Out in front, got a man open, complete. Bonko can't get the pull, and it's another touchdown for Fahey. 44-15, Vikings are pouring it on here. What could be their last offensive drive. They'll keep everybody around the center for this 1-point conversion. Receiver goes wide. That's Fahey. O'Neill stands, pocket passer true to his name, and he delivers the strike for the 1-point conversion. We will go back on offense here on this drive. Not sure how much time is left or how many plays Anna Lakey has that will go the full length of the field. UCD will bring a couple of reserves in as well. It's an underneath toss. O'Riordan, the run. Iqbal gets another flagpole. I know the offense gets a lot of the accolades in any of these games, but Kara Iqbal is doing an incredible job flagging players. And that's game. UCD drops their first game of the InterVarsity season to the University of Limerick by a final of 45-15.
I scored today. Let's go.
I believe the next game on the schedule will be Canes versus DKIT. However, this is pitch A, and they were supposed to have UCD play on pitch B in this time slot. But because it's UCD and we own the camera, they decided to have UCD play on their own field. UCD will not play in this time slot, though. So it should be DKIT and Canes coming up next. So, prior to that, I'm going to take a short break to once again use the bathroom and refill my tea. You're watching UCD American Football, presented by Tap House, proud partners of UCD American Football. Tap House Bar, Kitchen, and Sounds. Host your next big event at the Tap House.
Even if we lose.
They might have borrowed empty. They borrowed empty. An empty or red player. Wait, so I didn't even get one on offense. I got one on defense. Because I got stopped on the offense. We have an hour, right? I got 6. I scored. It's not on offense.
I knew it was
He got a second to be there right in the sure. It was like fucking.
I would stop it. Are they back or no?
I knew it was faking it.
Yeah, it's right. But those don't be no, they're the ones. If you run it back to the end zone. No, if not if you run it back. Try to get the range all right.
Or
Yeah,
like,
in the range, yeah, in the range, all right. You could have just slapped it backward.
It's better to pick it than on 4th down. Have to take the next shot.
You got out.
It's 4th down, so take it on the next shot.
Oh, that was the one time I got a catch. Don't even. We got it. Is that some like? I say it's a $3 rugby ticket.
No, he's English. Yeah, but like, actually, George Norman born in Extension.
In the case.
You said you do. Yeah, you show me.
Yeah, one second, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for making us part of your Saturday. My name is Max Wolpoff, the voice of UCD American Football. Trying to figure out what game I'm showing. I believe it'll be Canes and DKIT. So I'm going to update the graphics. Anybody's got questions, now's a great time to get them in. We got plenty of time for me to answer them. We've already had one question about my thoughts on the college football playoff and who might get in as that last team. We've already had some questions about what I thought of previous contests. So I got to update something on my stat sheet, so that's why I'm looking out over here. UCD won one, lost one in their games so far today.
Yeah, 3 of us are. Just Kayla has to like that. No. Alex. Oh, Deacon. Canes are playing right now, though.
And I'm very thankful for both of these teams who had a high level of response to my request for bios. And I must once again thank Alice Gordon of the Maynooth University Hurricanes, who was instrumental in getting the message out to all of the teams playing today about bios and how essential this was for me to do my job here. So for Alice, I know you watched this back, so thank you very much for helping me this week. You've made my job a lot easier, that I did not have to corral a lot of this information from people myself, because this week was kind of hectic. It was Thanksgiving week here in the United States. I'm not sure how many of you know about that. There are some countries that do a Thanksgiving holiday, Canada being a notable one. There are other Thanksgiving type holidays where they have a different name for them, but the name Thanksgiving still lasts here in the US. It was very odd for me as an American to have a Thanksgiving dinner in another country when I lived in Ireland last year. But those are the consequences you get when you move to a foreign country and you have to deal with their customs. So, as a result, here we are. First half of action getting set to get underway between, I believe it'll be the Canes and Dundalk Institute of Technology. If anybody out there has questions, this is your time to get them to me, because once the game starts, it's a little bit harder to answer audience questions that aren't about the game. So now's a great chance for everybody if you've got them. Otherwise, I'll just keep sitting here with all of you lovely people and wait until the game begins. We did have a switcheroo on field from the last game from the last time slot. UCD was supposed to play on the non-televised field that is hosting other games throughout the day. However, because this is UCD's camera, I imagine that had something to do with UCD switching onto the televised field. Again, if anyone's got questions, this is a great time to get them in. I'm willing to answer most reasonable questions. There are a few questions, if I deem it unreasonable, I'll tell you, and I won't answer it, and I'll tell you why I think so. Very high level of response for both of these squads. Again, if anyone's got questions, this is a great time to get them in. You call that yellow? You know, when this form went around, one of the things Alice Gordon included was a line to have teams tell me their jersey colors. And this would be helpful for me because, frankly, I'm not there, so I can't ask the question myself. and I'm not as familiar with the color schemes of certain teams. I'm familiar with UCD. I'm familiar with University of Limerick. I'm familiar with a couple of the teams that played in last year's InterVarsity, but I do not recall Dundalk Institute of Technology being one of those teams from last year. The jersey color that Dundalk gave me was yellow. Okay. That might be why, because as it turns out, I think they've switched fields again.
Yes, I saw that. It was
Because this is the team in blue here is not the Hurricanes. This is the Elks. And the Elks in their next game play Munster Technical. So I believe the field has been switched again. So MTU versus Elks will come to you next. Apologies for those of you who are tuning in for DKIT. I don't know what the deal is with the schedule changing on everybody, or with the pitch assignment at least changing on people. But it looks as though on this field, we are not going to see Canes DKIT. We will instead see Elks versus MTU.
Ready, Sean?
Not 100% sure. But again, I saw the bodies of two players who played earlier in the day, and from that, I am deducing that the next game here is going to be Munster Technical versus Elks. UCD is actually going to be assigned referees positions for this game as well, so there will be UCD people involved in this contest. So, all right. Well, thankfully, Munster Technical also had a high rate of response for their bio information forms. So here come the Elks, and here comes MTU. Once again, apologies to people who were here to tune in for DKIT. I know we had at least one person chime in saying they were. Because DKIT is playing UCD in the next time slot, I believe that means we're going to get that game on this field in the next time slot. But until then, MTU starts with the ball, and we are getting set to get underway. So let's have some fun here. Toss underneath, and it's in between the coverage. A nice catch and run for Alan O'Sullivan, number 11, who's also the snapper. He says in his bio, I can only make 3-yard receptions. Well, 3 yards will still get you plenty. MTU will start the half with the ball here. Sends it back to the quarterback. Throw across, and it's broken up by the receiver. Eamon O'Leary had a chance at that one. Could not haul it in. Now a third down play setting up here for UCD's next opponent. So MTU lengthy third down here. Must get to the halfway line. They'll line up in the I. All right, interesting formation call there. And it's going to be a long throw, incomplete, out of bounds. First drive of the day. Thanks for hopping in with us on this Saturday. Get your questions in. We've got time to answer them throughout the course of the game. I believe that's Oscar Egan acting as the referee here today for this contest. Again, a lot of players throughout Ireland in this sport are cross-trained as referees. It just makes staffing easier. Short snap. This is only third down here. Chance to run. Quarterback is going to go for it. He'll get close to that halfway line and almost, I believe it's Mark McCarthy. Being very close to that first down line. Yeah, Mark McCarthy is going to be quarterbacking today. And he does not get there. So that fourth down goes nowhere. As here comes Searle and the Elks. Toss play, he can run, he does. It's a short run, misses the flag again, and eventually the spinning gets him out beyond, I believe that's the 15. Zeros on the board after the quarterback run. Could not get the first down for MTU. Two receivers left, one to the right, and two play underneath coverage here for MTU. Searle tosses to Lappin, and Sean falls down as he tries to get around the coverage. Now it's third down. MTU is playing a heavy dose of underneath coverage. Lappin, toss it back to Searle. Searle rolls the line of scrimmage back to Lappin. He comes down with it, gets around the coverage, and it's a quick pull, and thank goodness for MTU that he did. DJ Corkery stops that from being a touchdown. Corkery calls himself a plasterer, and I've got jokes about that when we got a chance. Searle steps up to the line of scrimmage and throws it back to Craig, who pulls up. From the 5, Elks are now in the no rushing zone on their first drive here. See what they can do on this third down play. Under center snap. He'll roll right. Back toward the front pylon, and it's caught by 7 for the score, I think. Guess not. Fourth down. Receivers around the snapper with 7 out to the wide side. Searle can't run from the 5. He's got to throw it. Shakes around. It could have been a coverage sack. It was not. Caught by Lappin, getting to the pylon, and no. Spotted short. So that was third down. This is now fourth. Searle goes under center again. Pulls. Must throw forward. He'll roll. And eventually it is incomplete. Turned over on downs at the doorstep. A good drive for the Elks. Results in no points. McCarthy back at quarterback for MTU. No score on either team's first drive. McCarthy loads up, finds his receiver, bobbled and caught. Catch and run from Robert Gunnell. Tipperary man. Second down, must get to the halfway line to reset the downs. 2 receivers left, one to the right. McCarthy stands, underneath throw. Caught for a short gain, Alice Gordon on the stop. As Eamon O'Leary. This is third down. Got to get to the halfway line. He fakes the throw. Now he'll throw, gets it complete, and it's a first down catch and run for Marcus Mulcahy, who, by his own admission in his bio, I'm not sure if I should bring this up, but I will. He calls himself the LeBron of flag. We'll see about that. First down from beyond the halfway. Snapper now rolls out for an extended passing attempt, gets it back to the snapper. It's a catch, it's a run, and down inside the 10, right at the 6 from Alan O'Sullivan. That might have been a 3-yard reception, but it was another 10 plus on the run. O'Sullivan definitely downplaying his catch and run abilities. This is second down here. From the no rushing zone, MTU must pass the ball. Toss play, he must throw it, and he does eventually back of the end zone, incomplete. Interesting move to try a toss play to O'Leary, who does list himself as a quarterback in his player position, also a wide receiver, is where he's been lining up most of this game. Unsure about that play call. This is now fourth down. Knocking at the door of the end zone. MTU recently turned the Elks away. Can the Elks do the same thing? O'Sullivan over the ball. Toss play backward. And apparently the call is he can run. They must be lined up outside the 5. He does not. He does get to the pylon. Breaks the plane of the goal line. Touchdown for MTU. Wow. Very close. But they will line up to go for 1. Very close line on that line of scrimmage. I thought it was the 5, but spotted just north of it. Faking to throw a couple of times. It's batted down, incomplete. 6-0 lead, MTU. Ms. Brannigan, very happy that you are educating me on Dundalk Institute of Technology and its history, because simply put, there's only so much I can learn from the internet. Play is for Searle. Searle got around to pull, tiptoeing the sideline before eventually getting his flag yanked by number 20, who did not give me a name for that number. Thanks a bunch, everybody. Second down for the Elks. And they're changing the play at the line based on the coverage from MTU. And that did not go according to plan. He wanted a toss to Lappin, who I believe was going to throw it back to Searle. And whatever they were trying there was a malfunction at the junction. The fumble results in a dead play, brings up third down and about 7 or 8 to go. Same formation as the previous play. Searle underneath toss finds Gordon, and Patrick is able to get no further than a few yards. I have no name attached to number 18, so I don't know who that is for MTU. Underneath toss finds Lappin. Lappin up the sideline, has the first down and more. First down again for MTU. They were turned away at the goal line on a 4th and 1 on their last drive. Keeping the same formation as previous. Now Lappin, they finally have their handoff strategy set. Searle gets through 2 blockers, gets around, and he'll slide. He gets up. It was just a good first down run. Now to call it the 12. Maybe the 13 here. Blitzer has to line up 7 yards beyond, and they're lined up at the 6, so that would lead me to believe that they're at the 13-yard line. Elks getting their play sheet squared away. They flip the formation strength. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Searle stepping in, no rush, back of the end zone, and it's caught! Complete to Lappin, touchdown Elks. A conversion here would give the Elks the lead. Hando Hanners, happy to see you from Hong Kong. Happy to have you back. Tight formation around the snapper. Searle, back front pylon, and it is broken up. It's a tie game at 6. Hanno, how are you? It is good to see you. Happy to see that we have some familiar faces in the comment section today. Flag football action live from UCD, the host of this day 1 content for InterVarsity tournament time. We're thrilled all of you have decided to join us and make us part of your Saturday. It's a tie game 6-6 as MTU gets the ball for the 3rd time. From the end zone, loading up, going downfield, incomplete. Had someone breaking just beyond the coverage. McCarthy could not complete the pass. That looked like Robert Gunnell, number 2, and Luke Malone, number 17. Both were out there as options for McCarthy. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right on this 2nd down play from the 5-yard line. The rush, it's on, it's a catch, it's a run, going up the side, kind of get to the sideline, and great yardage from O'Sullivan. He's been the favored target today for McCarthy, and with good reason, he's been open. Third down, must get to the halfway line to reset the downs. Keeping 2 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. And it's a low snap on the ground. That's a fumble, so it's a dead play. Evan Wright on the rush. Did not have a chance for the sack, but still takes the play away. It is now 4th down. Coach runs all the way out onto the field to call the next play. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Let's see what McCarthy's got here. It's a toss play back to him. He can run legally. He's got to get around right to do so. He does to the halfway line. He's out of bounds. And it's a false start. They rule the play dead.
Full start, MCU 17, turnover on downs.
Oscar, buddy, learn the rule book. It's a quick read. Anyway, false start results in a 5-yard penalty, not a loss of down, as was erroneously stated. So now this third down becomes a lot longer. Toss back. Don't dance away from the coverage. Wright is on him. He's going to load up with a long ball. It is not caught. Incomplete. Wanted Melvin, and Melvin could not bring it in. One second, everybody. We're having some issues with the camera. Okay, well, hold on, everybody. Give me a second. All right. Let me have a second here. I'm having some trouble with the camera, so I may need to reach out to my contacts. So they're going to show this play one more time. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be the same play as before. We've showed you this already. So that's again, sorry to replay the drop, but this is where we had issues as the Elks come back on offense. Yep, we've lost the camera. All right. Apologies to everybody. We've lost the camera. I'm going to hit refresh on the page and see what happens. So if you'll pardon me a moment, everybody, apologies for the issues that we're having right now. I'm trying to understand what's going on here, and I'm not 100% sure. So I think we've just lost the camera. Not so. Yep, we have indeed lost the camera. All right, well, I have somebody on their way to try to fix this. So bear with us, everybody. We are eventually going to get this together. Really sorry about how this is shaking out so far, but we have lost track of the camera. It was 6-6 when the camera stopped gathering new video. Anyone's got questions for me? Here's a good time to ask. What's the situation with Ireland and flag in the Olympics? Man, I don't know. I actually have no idea how many countries are qualifying for the Olympics for flag football. I don't know how many are. Hold on a second. I'm going to answer this question. Flag 2028. All right. I'm going straight to the source, the Olympics website. No reject cookies. That's something all of you should do, by the way. Never accept cookies from websites. So, trying to figure out how many countries are going to make it and what the qualification procedure is. So much for that. Olympics.org doesn't have the answer. Okay, so it's only going to be 6 teams in the flag football tournament for the Olympics that are coming up in 2028, which is still 3 years away. So that's a long way to go between now and then. I'm not 100% sure what the qualification procedure would be for the other 5. I'm assuming, I think safely, that the U.S. is going to field a team in both the men's and the women's category. So I'm not sure what the situation is, Hando Hanners. I regret to inform you that I do not work for LA28 despite my best efforts. My guess, and this is purely a guess, is it will be at least one representative other than the host country of the Continental Federation. So I think one from Europe, one from Africa, probably one from South America, maybe one from North America in addition to the US, because I'd have a hard time thinking they'd leave out Mexico, because Mexico's got a couple of really good teams. Yeah, but it's a 16 tournament. They're not going to bring that many. I'm not 100% sure why they can't bring more. As evidenced by the fact that we go through 3 to 4 games a day here, it's very easy to set up new teams. Ah, great. All right, everybody, I've got some bad news for you. So the camera is dead. So instead of showing you the rest of Elks versus MTU, we're going to charge the camera as long as possible and hope that it will last long enough to show the last game of the day. Apologies to everybody for the Elks and MTU and those who were watching. I know all of you are probably looking forward to watching this back with your buddies from the team. I can't help it if the camera runs out of battery. There's a great line from a documentary I watched called Freakonomics. And it was a child explaining something to the camera. And he said, I can promise you milk and cookies. But if the oven's broken, you're just getting milk. So right now, you're just getting milk. So apologies to everybody about missing the remainder of that game. However, that gives us some time to chat before UCD will take on DKIT in the final game of the day. Hopefully, we have enough camera battery to last through the game there. But For the time being, I'll keep the stream open. My name is Max Wolpoff. I'm the voice of UCD American Football, as evidenced by this amazing mug, which was gifted to me by the mother of one of the players on the tackle team. So, all right, we got time for questions because we're not going to be able to show you the third game of the day. I might regret this, but I'm saying to everybody for UCD that there's open season on questions. So we will hopefully be able to bring you UCD versus Dundalk Institute of Technology for our final game of the day. However, that is not a guarantee as the camera ran out of battery during the third game of the day. Granted, the camera wasn't just running for that from first game on, it was running prior. And as a result of that, I think it's just the fact that the camera only has a limited battery life. It normally does not last 5 hours, and we've asked it to run more than 5 hours because the first games today started 5 a.m. local time for me, 10 a.m. local time in Ireland, and it is now 10 a.m. local time here. So open season on questions. I'll expound and answer. Liam Butler, what's my best impression? Oh boy. So I have not done a lot of impressions in my life that people have asked me to do. I think the best impression I ever did was a Bernie Sanders impression when I was cast to play Mr. Mushnick in Little Shop of Horrors, the Broadway musical, when I was in high school. And essentially, I watched way too many speeches by that man to get his mannerisms and everything else. Man, I don't know if I could pull it out now. So, man, I've done a Bernie Sanders impression. My Elmo impression when I was younger was really good. Yeah, I know that's a random one, but you know, everybody of a certain age can probably do a voice from Sesame Street. Thoughts on fantasy football and fantasy sports in general? Do you participate? To answer the second question, no. To answer your first question, it ruins my enjoyment of the games. I am unique in this regard. I do not like playing fantasy sports. I don't like sports betting, in part because I watch the games for the competition. I'm not interested in necessarily cheering for an outcome unless my team is involved. I like the chaos of being able to enjoy an upset, being able to enjoy a huge comeback that was unexpected. And I don't feel like I can do that properly if I have a stake in the action, in the outcome of the game, whether that be monetary or fantasy. Just not my thing, never has been, and I don't think it ever will be. Now, I barely even fill out brackets for the NCAA tournaments for basketball. I think the last bracket I did before last year was the year UMBC defeated Virginia, this first 16 seed upsetting a 1 seed in the men's tournament. And I couldn't enjoy it because I had Virginia winning that game. And I was hoping for the expected outcome. But man, I felt horrible the whole time because I thought I can't enjoy this historical moment. So from that point forward, I tried to swear off doing fantasy sports or bracket picks or sports betting. Sean, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you so much. Listen, we're going to try to get the fourth game up when we can, but I'm answering questions until then. Yeah, just it's a personal thing. I just don't like how it feels to watch a game that is turning into a good story and cheering for the opposite outcome. Oh, that's a different kind of fantasy sports. Okay, thoughts on fantasy sports as in Quidditch and other sports that aren't from real life but are based on pop culture. All right. Listen, I don't fault anybody for creating a game and trying to play it. I think that's how we got American football to begin with. That's also how we got soccer or association football, which was based on two towns kicking a ball back and forth until they killed each other, basically. Sorry. Give me a second, everybody. Hold on. So, yeah, I don't fault anybody for creating a game and attempting to make something out of it, because that's how we get most sports. It starts as responding to an inquiry. Yeah, I still think a lot of people forget sometimes that the origin of our games starts as somebody imagining something. That's how baseball began, with just people trying to figure it out. That's how a lot of different sports began, in just a sense of people imagining what things might be. So I don't fault people for playing Quidditch or any of the other various fantasy games from pop culture and trying to make them real. That's my take on fantasy sports in that regard. I got time for more questions. We're going to charge the camera and hopefully be back for the UCD game. Thoughts on emerging sports like power slap and combat sports in general? I think for as long as humanity has been around, this is something that no fundamentally liberal nation will teach you. Fighting is a normal part of humanity. War is a normal condition of humanity. There's a reason we've been fighting each other for centuries, or almost as long as humans have been around, we've been fighting each other. Combat sports in general at least try to replicate that in a controlled environment where everybody involved knows what they're getting into. And I think that's an admirable understanding of how to run a business. For the fighters involved, it's your choice. You know what you're getting into when you step into the boxing ring, the sumo circle, the octagon, the squared circle if you're a professional wrestler. You know what you're getting into for the most part. And I don't fault anybody for attempting to make an honest living that way. I do fault people who are paid off to drop a fight on purpose. You guys suck. A power slap. I have not watched power slap. I've heard about it. And I think it's one of the craziest things that, in theory, you're signing up to do. where you sign up to be slapped in the face as hard as possible. Man, it's such a bizarre concept in theory to me because, again, I'm a relatively peaceful human being. There are only a few people in the world that I have genuine hatred towards. Not going to tell you who that is, but I don't fault people for trying stuff. And the people who put this power slap league or even competitive tag, you're trying stuff. And whether it fails or succeeds, at least you're trying. And I appreciate people who try, even if they don't become successful with their efforts. The hard part is trying. And the hard part is convincing people. The hard part after that is convincing people to think that what you're doing is valuable. So that's my answer to that question. Again, we've got time for now. It's just me. Sorry to everybody who's tuning in thinking this is a flag football stream. We lost the camera battery during the third game of the day. So as of now, we're working on getting the camera charged up to go for the fourth game of the day. Hopefully, we will get it so we can bring you the final UCD game of the day. What flag-only team in Ireland do you think should consider moving into the contact league? Sorry, I'm laughing because my joke answer to that question is the South Dublin Panthers. And that's a joke. I want to point that out as best I can. That is a joke. I know they have a contact team that had to forfeit 2 games at the end of last season and drop to the Division 1. They have a robust flag recruiting. They have a very robust flag culture. I wish it translated to contact so that they would have what's it called? So that they would have the capacity to compete. I really do wish that. Have any teams implied that they might? Not to my knowledge. What flag-only team should consider moving into contact? This is a selfish answer from the part of me working for UCD. I wish there was a Trinity team that we could reignite the rivalry of years past. I know that's not exactly the easiest call to make for a flag team or a school to recruit American football. It's probably a tougher sell at Trinity than it is other places. I just want that rivalry restarted. I think it would be a huge benefit to the marketing of the league for AFI to have a Trinity UCD rivalry reignited, or even a Trinity Rebels rivalry reignited. Because Trinity did used to have a team, for everybody out there who is not as up on the history of AFI as I currently am as a result of working in the league for over a year. Again, it's a rivalry that selfishly I would love to see restarted. I don't see that happening in the future because restarting a contact football team kind of hard to do. There's a lot of players, there's a lot of equipment, it's a huge infrastructure cost. And to sink that kind of money, time, and effort into restarting a team that wasn't that successful in their tenure in AFI, it's a tall ask. But I'd love to see it happen. I just don't think it will. We've got time for more questions. We've had plenty of questions so far in the chat. Again, I'm sorry we couldn't bring you flag football, which is the mandate of today. So we're thrilled that all of you have decided to join us. I'm thrilled that we're getting more viewers coming into the chat now. Please drop your questions in. I'm thrilled that any of you have questions at all. We've got plenty of time to talk. Until we get another question, I'm just going to expound on the college football race as it is now. So if anyone doesn't want me to talk about this, ask a question. So yesterday was not a great day to be a Miami Hurricane because there were plenty of wins by teams around and ahead of Miami in the standings. Again, my entire view on college sports, as college football especially, has changed since going to a big time school. So I used to cheer for chaos. Like I would cheer for the number one team to go down every week solely for the lulz. And I still do on occasion. Like I still want Ohio State to lose today in a sense. I still want Indiana to get a run for their. I mean, Indiana crushed Purdue last night, so I guess that wasn't going to happen. But Texas winning last night was a huge blow to Miami's playoff chances, unless and until Miami can win the ACC championship. If I could personally be sponsored by any brand, what would it be? Ooh. Fascinating question, Liam, because I have to start wondering. I want to be sponsored by a brand I actually use. So that would be the first thing. I have to consider, what do I actually use? I have to at least consider, do the brand's goals and values align with mine? Gosh. I mean, again, this is I had a funny thought in my head. I'd love to be sponsored by a company that makes headphones so that they could give me free headphones. So I don't know. I guess at that point, maybe Bose or Dr. Dre's Beats would be an interesting one for that, just so I could have headphones for the broadcasts. I will say microphones are expensive, so microphone companies would be a fun one as well. As far as clothing and apparel, I'd hesitate to go with any of the bigger brands other than maybe New Balance, because I have wide feet. I don't know if anybody knows that, as we now approach getting an explicit rating on this stream, but I can't wear Nikes and Adidas shoes because they cut too narrow. So New Balance shoes are the most comfortable shoes I can walk in. I had Asics for a while. They were fine. My dad has been trying to get me into Hoka, which, sorry, just don't like the feel. So New Balance would probably be my only apparel brand that I would want. And also I'd be on the same roster as Shohei Ohtani. So that would be a fun one. What are my thoughts on Mike Tomlin, the coach? Oh boy, you're going to make me never be able to work for an NFL team at this point, Liam. Mike Tomlin as a coach squeezes a lot more out of his players than they might be worth. I look at just the way he runs a team and the hiring he does around him to run the offense and run the defense and the special teams. He gets the most out of what he has, but what the team has given him over the last several years hasn't been good enough. I think the Steelers ownership and management, actually, is Tomlin the GM and coach? No, he's not. His name is Omar Khan. All right. So 32-19 Elks in the lead at the moment. All right. Thank you, Sean, for the score update. Really appreciate that. Again, I'm sorry for everybody from Elks and MTU who tuned into this game hoping that we would be able to show it. It is 32-19 in favor of the Elks. My guess is this is probably second half at this point. We've been talking for a while. So question is, Mike Tomlin, is he the best for keeping us at 9-8 or the worst for keeping us at 9-8? I assume the us is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to win. Everybody gives the Steelers a good shot. They have not had a marquee quarterback since Roethlisberger's best couple of years were behind him. And again, they tried it with some veterans. They tried it with some young guys. They're trying it again with a veteran this year in Aaron Rodgers. And Yeah, GM is Omar Khan. I just Googled that. Thanks for that, Liam. I think he is a great coach. Injured player for the Elks. Officials timeout. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach, but he doesn't have a great team assembled around him year to year. And I think some of that is his coaching style and his offensive coordinator hires, because I don't know how you lose a marquee player like George Pickens and he goes to Dallas and is just putting up numbers there despite not doing as well in Pittsburgh. And some of that is that Pittsburgh as a city and as a team has a culture. Like, to use a hockey example, the Boston Bruins draft, trade for, sign, and develop Bruins. There is a brand to the Boston Bruins ice hockey team that was sort of deviated a bit when they brought in Bobby Orr, but he was a marquee player that you could not turn down. He was a generational star. Definitely changed how they played a little bit, but the Bruins as a whole, throughout their history, played a hard-nosed, in-your-face, try-your-balls-off style that the Steelers, over the last several decades, play a hard-nosed, in-your-face, try-your-balls-off style that doesn't necessarily lend itself to the West Coast offense style. Touchdown Elks, it's now 38-19. Yeah, it doesn't lend itself to the West Coast offense or spread offense style of the current years. Touchdown for Isaac Searle. On the most recent play in the game that we are unable to watch because the camera ran out of battery. I would not be surprised if the Steelers finally fire Tomlin after this season if they don't make the playoffs. I wouldn't be, because at this point, he's been with the team for a long time. He's been around the team forever. He's a great coach, but sometimes the message gets stale. Sometimes players tune out the messenger. It might just be time for a changing of the guard, despite performance still being above the league average. Not a fiery hot take there. Trade to New York for Tom. Oh, gosh. Yeah. The New York Giants. How about them? Gosh. I saw on the bottom line ticker on ESPN yesterday during the games that they're going to start Jackson Dart on Sunday or Monday when they play the Patriots, I think. More power to them, I guess, for thinking that they can still run their young quarterback out there despite being the first team eliminated from the playoff contention, which that's a bizarre thing to note, is that the Giants are eliminated, but the Jets, who have the same number of wins, are still mathematically alive. Bonkers. Every season's kind of bonkers in the NFL, but this one really a change from last year. We got time for more questions. We're in a holding pattern until the next game starts, in part because the camera ran out of battery midway through the Elks MTU game. We're getting some score updates from Sean McVay, who is on the ground right now at Dublin 4 for NUCD's campus. We got plenty of time for questions. I love talking to all of you. I really do. This is all right. Back to my thoughts on college football for today. I still think that Miami's got a very hard path to break into the college football playoff this year without the ACC championship. The ACC is probably going to be a one-bid league. Would I change the current contact divisions? I don't know if there are enough teams or enough players for a third division. Because right now, there are 8 teams in each of the Premier Division and Division 1. So that's 16 teams total throughout the island. The playoffs are top 4 only, and I'd have a hard time looking at a 6-team top division where one team gets relegated and one team misses the playoffs. Again, it's a hard question for anybody to theoretically design a sports league, because I'm from the United States. For the most part, when you design a sports league, you grow a single league as big as possible, and everything else develops around it. So the NHL started first, grew, developed around it, and from there, that led to the growth of the American League, the East Coast League underneath it. Same with baseball, where MLB started, or the National League, American League started, I should say, and the minor league system developed around it. Whereas moving across the pond and seeing how sports were developed in Europe, for the most part, it was single division, which was then bracketed off among that with promotion relegation, allowing teams an opportunity to get better and get in better positions. Where am I? I am in Delaware. I am visiting my grandparents, who are 91 years of age, and I am here for Thanksgiving. They have allowed me to use their Wi-Fi today to broadcast all of the games for all of you lovely people. So hopefully we're going to be getting that 4th game, but the answer is Delaware. The first state of the United States, first state to ratify the Constitution. Although, if you go back to the Articles of Confederation, I'm not sure who was first to ratify the Articles of Confederation. That's a fascinating quirk of American history, is that, yes, the country might be 250 years old if you count from independence and the declaration of it, but the governing document of the country is a few years younger, in part because they tried a super decentralized government in the 1780s, and long story short, it did not work as hoped. So they created a new governing document in the 1790s that led to the current one we have today. Favorite dish on the Thanksgiving table? Liam, you're going to make me say the obvious answer, aren't you? It's turkey. It's got to be turkey. A good turkey, well cooked, well seasoned, well gravied. Nothing tops it. Nothing tops it. We're still hoping for the camera to come back for the 4th game of the day, which I believe will be UCD versus Dundalk Institute of Technology. So right now we are waiting for the Elks game to be over. Elks were the most recent scorer per our man on the ground, Sean McVeigh, who is giving the camera the charge that he can and keeping it powered down until the 4th game is ready to start. Again, grateful for all of you who have decided to join us on this Saturday. Anyone's got more questions? I'm here. I am amenable to answering most questions. We've already had some good thought exercises on how to restructure the Irish football divisions, favorite Thanksgiving dish, what I think of Mike Tomlin's job as a coach, thoughts on fantasy sports, both the type you play by drafting players and fantasy sports, like sports and pop culture novels. Plenty of time for questions until we get to that 4th game of the day. We promised you that we would get you all the games of today. Am I back in the USA permanently? Yes. I tried to make it work in Ireland, and unfortunately, it did not work. So 38-25 Elks. So that means that we've had a score from MTU. So MTU on the board with another touchdown. You know what, Liam? I can understand that. Turkeys are an interesting bird to cook because there's plenty of ways to do it wrong. Much like with any dish, I guess, there's a lot of ways to do it where it doesn't taste right. And yeah, the inconsistency can be hard when especially when you're somewhere else and not in control of the variables. My dad loves turkey, so he does a really good job making a turkey, and he's been in charge of the turkey for most of the Thanksgiving dinners that I've attended. Sweet potato casserole, solid choice. We've got a safety. Elks get on the board with 2 big points, 40-25. So judging by the score, we are getting deep into the second half now. Again, thrilled all of you have decided to join us. Sean McVay is the current club president for UCD American Football. He's our man on the ground providing some score updates in the comment section here, while our camera, 1 minute 30-ish remaining. All right, we're closing in on the final minutes of the third game. So I will probably take a break to use the bathroom after the last game ends. And hopefully we will have enough of a charge on our camera at the field to show you the entirety of game 4. I will stick with you until I get word on the final score of the Elks MTU game. It was looking like a decent game when the camera cut out with a lot of time left in the first half. It was 6-6 when the camera cut out. So now at 40-25, that means we've missed a lot of good offense. Okay, to answer your second question first, Hando Hanners, you should not consider my advice when it comes to placing a bet. Absolutely not. No way. I don't think it'll be the top seeds from either conference. The Bears have been pulling out close wins after close wins most of the season. And they beat an Eagles team yesterday that, frankly, does not have it together offensively. I wouldn't trust the Patriots in the playoffs. I don't think Drake May has shown me enough. Oh, I did not know that about Sean McVay liking turkey burgers. Didn't know. So making the Super Bowl and winning it this year. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the NFL playoff picture so that I can have a better answer for that question. And that's game. So it looks like, I believe that means the Elks win. Yeah, the thing is, the top 2 seeds in the AFC right now, I don't trust. I don't trust Denver and I don't trust New England. And the top 2 seeds in the NFC, I don't trust either. The Rams, they're good, but they can be gotten. And the Bears, they've been pulling it out for several months. If there's a team nobody wants to face, it's a healthy Tampa Bay. That's the major question there. Gosh, hard to believe Detroit's out of the playoff picture as it is right now after that loss to Green Bay. Listen, I love my Packers. I just don't think they're Super Bowl contenders this year. However, if they play the Bears in the first round, there might be some interesting moments in that game, because I don't trust the Bears, and Green Bay can definitely get them. They just didn't this year so far. But next week, we'll see. Hando Hanners, I'm really sorry, but my answer right now out of the AFC is Indianapolis because they've showed me that they're a for real team that had a tough game last week. And this is going to shock you based on what I've said earlier. I think the Eagles will be just fine getting there because of how weak some of the other teams are in the NFC. And the wild card in all of that is Dallas, of whether or not they can win enough games to get into the wild card position, or if the Eagles stink enough to be knocked out of the playoffs entirely. So my answer as of now, before the Sunday games have even been played, is Indianapolis, Philly, which I know isn't a super exciting Super Bowl for everybody, but I think Daniel Jones is in a good offensive system. I think Jonathan Taylor is an incredible running back who does not get his due, in part because of the attention Saquon Barkley gets. So for everybody, the third game is done. I am going to take a break because I need to use the bathroom. I will be back, and hopefully the camera will have enough juice to get us through the fourth game of the day. The Elks with the victory over Munster Technical. We are hoping to line up the next game, UCD versus DKIT. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, everybody. All right. Want to make sure, can everybody hear me okay? So we lost track. We lost the camera midway through the first half of the third game between Elks and MTU. And as a result, we were unable to bring you most of that third game. We do apologize about that. Again, the camera battery has a limited life. And right now we are actively trying to get as much of a charge into the camera as possible to bring you the fourth game of the day between UCD and Dundalk Institute of Technology. If we are not able to do so, I will likely be shutting down the stream early. However, again, the mandate was to bring you 4 games today. We're going to try to bring you 4 games today. So until then, we've got time for questions. We've got time to chat. We've already had questions about who's making the Super Bowl. Oh, I didn't tell you who was going to win. I think Indianapolis would win in that hypothetical matchup I had of them in Philadelphia. Granted, I don't know. It's really hard for me to gauge who's a real team, good team, because I don't watch football the same way that some of the analysts do, where they're able to actually accurately pick a winner, in part because I watch based on a perspective. I want Green Bay to win every year. But seeing how the teams have played a few times this year, these battery packs must be from Timu. All I need to know, why will you bet everything on the Bears, you complete idiot? Okay, fine. These battery packs must be from Timu. Oh man, just whatever. I tell you, it's real tough. Yeah, portable battery packs or something. All right. So we'll see how long we have the camera for this game. I'm not 100% sure what or how much of the game we're going to be able to show you. Right now, we're at the mercy of the camera. This is one of the consequences of doing games like this. But again, Sean, just send me a link when it's ready, and I will have it up a few seconds later. So, got time for at least 1 or 2 more questions before the next game begins. Knowing how long I run on responses, we'll probably take the response up into the first game of the day. Consequences of me not having a large club battery pack, to be fair. Hey, we didn't know we would need it until today, especially given that the camera had to run 5+ hours, which, look, I think the longest stream that we had last year was also InterVarsity Flag Day. But granted, that's because those games started at a specific time and just went forever. And gosh, if I recall correctly, I think it was 6 games in the day for me to call that day. And I opted not to call one of them. So look, I don't think that the camera battery is going to be a problem for most of the season, but today, because of the friendlies prior to the first game, it definitely ate into the battery. We're hoping to get the camera up and running shortly. UCD will be playing Dundalk Institute of Technology, or DKIT, or DKIT. Actually, we have somebody in the chat here from cheering for Dundalk. Is it DKIT or DKIT? Because I can understand if it's either, but I don't know how people refer to it on the ground. So I'm curious what the particular is that. Is there a certain acronyms? There are people sound out each letter, like UCLA. And then there are other acronyms that people say as if they're one word. Trying to think of which one that might be in my head. I'm struggling. But it's funny about UCLA specifically. I read a book by the Hall of Fame pitcher Pedro Martinez, who pitched for the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Phillies, the Mets, and had a great career, amazing player, good person. In his autobiography, he talked about moving to America from the Dominican Republic and coming to Los Angeles for the first time. And he was being driven around by somebody in his host family, because they still have host families for minor leaguers. And he saw all these billboards for the University of California, Los Angeles, but he's from the Dominican Republic. And he didn't understand what this word he saw on the billboard was. So he asked the person driving him around, "What is UCLA?" And the person was super confused because, like, UCLA? What are you talking about? So he points to one of the billboards and says, "That." And she says, "Oh, UCLA. It's an acronym." And that was a foreign concept to Pedro when he came to the US. So he had no idea what an acronym was, at least in that context. So I always find that story funny and endearing, further proving that our languages are really a consequence of where we are and what we value. There's a lot of acronyms in the English language and a lot of words and phrases that don't necessarily mean what they literally say, but give you an idea all the same. We're hopeful that we can get the camera up and running for the fourth game of the day. UCD playing DKIT. And the VO is a no-go. Ah, darn. Well, Sean, appreciate you trying. Thank you so much. No charge held. All right, everybody. Unfortunately, that means it's going to be the end of the day for me. So end of the day for all of us. So from all of us at UCD American Football, thank you so much for tuning in to the 2 1/4 games that we were able to show you. My name is Max Wolpoff. We hope that we will be able to resolve the VO camera battery issues for the next time that we stream. I believe the next time we talk to each other is going to be after the new year. So to everybody out there, have an incredible holiday break, whether you're celebrating Christmas or just the New Year or Hanukkah or any of the other myriad of holidays that are celebrated in December. Thank you so much for making us part of your Saturday. And as always, have a great rest of your day.